Maybe you aren't paranoid, but you might be followed. Published by Jasco in June of 2021. This is part 8 in a series of Randonautica experiences over several days. Jasco and his crew are using the app down in Florida State. During their Randonautica tour, they find an old sofa in the forest.
But
Wendy's?
what we're here for is this. Yeah.
After some coaxing, Jasco lifts a mysterious item that's tucked into its cushions.
That's like a video game or something. What the hell?
Is it an iPod?
No, it's one of the old iPhones.
No.
Why is it like in saran wrap?
Wait.
That item turns out to be an old iPhone saran wrapped to the letters C and F.
Feel a little bit safer.
It is an iPhone. Look at that. iPhone.
Bro, I always wanted they had like a coral one.
That's so weird.
Okay.
What?
Oh, we just found a phone in the middle of nowhere.
I know, it's super old.
They try to turn the iPhone on, but its battery is empty. Later on the mission, Jasco says Chris has been hearing something all day, and now he hears it too.
Like, where else could it be? I don't know.
Dude, I don't know. Yo,
Like, what would it
literally, hold on. Can we talk about something quick? You've been hearing things like all day long. Like, you're like, bro, what is that? Like, I hear like some type of beeping.
A beeping sound. Jen finds its source.
Chris!
What?
It's a tile tracker,
That's one
bro.
of those little...
A tile tracking device. She said she found it in between the middle console. They run it over, but it's still functioning.
Hold on, I'm gonna...
All this time they were being tracked. Someone was in their rental car the day before and planted it. But who? My guess is someone with ill intentions. An adventurer in India sees something truly chilling.
खड़ी हुई है अस्तगफुरुल्लाह ये तो वही चुड़ैल है ये कोई औरत खड़ी हुई है नीचे हम छत के ऊपर आए हैं कैमरे उतारने के लिए और ये औरत नीचे खड़ी हुई है वो इधर से
He diverts his horrified gaze, and when he looks up, it's gone, but not for long.
ये आप देख सकते हैं ये कमरे भी आप देख सकते हैं लॉक किए हुए हैं इन्होंने ये आप सुन सकते हैं
Red blotches on the curtains mark where an apparition has touched the cloth. I did not see these handprints here moments before. He goes outside and finds a drastic change of weather, further evidence of displeasing a powerful spirit.
ये आप देख सकते हैं ये आवाज़ें भी आप सुन सकते हैं
He turns around to go inside for shelter, only to be greeted by the sound of a child's voice through a partially open door.
अभी दोस्तों हम इधर से जा रहे हैं इंशाल्लाह नेक्स्ट टाइम हम जब आएंगे किसी बुजुर्ग को साथ में लेकर आएंगे
He wisely decides to wait out the storm outside and does not go back in. I suppose he figures it would be quicker and less scary to chance it with the lightning, rather than return to whatever poltergeist activity is waiting for him there. An urban exploration channel called JJ Retro is exploring an abandoned house on the edge of an English village late at night. You can tell he's nervous just standing at the entrance of this creepy estate.
To come exploring somewhere like this because we're in the middle of nowhere, on the outskirts of Slinfold, at this rather creepy house, and there's a sort of haunted feel to it.
Outside, they find a spooky tree with a rope slung over the branch and a plank of wood to step off of. I don't think we need to spend much time explaining what kind of scary events happened here. And when they start exploring the inside, every room fills them with a renewed sense of dread.
Yeah, this is creepy. This is probably the creepiest building we've done so far in our urban exploring career. Oh.
They try to joke their way out of how scary this urban exploration is, but eventually they have to admit they are getting spooked by something paranormal in the house with them. Weird noises are coming from upstairs, or so they say, but to be honest, I don't hear anything.
Jamie, what the f***'s that noise?
It's quite upstairs.
But as they slowly creep up the stairs, I can actually hear the weird sound, and that's when they get it. The creepy encounter caught on camera that they were all looking for.
Playing chin. Wow. No.
Hello?
And that's when, with all of them on the steps mind you, the urban explorers see a rocking chair moving on its own.
Come on. And that was the haunted house here in Slinfold and with.
Since part of the chair is hidden by the doorway, maybe somebody was off camera making the chair move. Otherwise, this place is definitely haunted. This video of the Ishima Hoyashi Bridge in Japan looks like one of the scariest places in the world to drive over, and has the internet freaking out. It resembles a terrifying roller coaster more than a bridge, but I found a video of someone going over it, and while the ride is creepy, it's probably not as bad as you thought. I just wanted to show what going over this bridge is really like, since the video went viral not too long ago. The reason why the bridge is built like this is to give extra room for boats to go under. It makes sense, but doesn't really make it any less scary, especially if you already have a fear of bridges to begin with. Australian YouTuber Sam Marsh is exploring far north Queensland when something odd crawls out of the forest to better observe him. Down the dirt road stands a tall creature roughly the same height as Sam. 53 seconds is when you can see a prominent head jutting forth as the creature inches back into the forest from whence it came. Sam walks to where it was and finds a well-worn path leading deeper into the dark forest. Looking back at him is the carefully concealed figure with a long neck and a white head. At 1 minute and 48 seconds it turns back to look at him. What is it? When you're arguing whether a shirt is red or maroon, the ghosts in your presence will know they've had enough of you two. Published to YouTube in May of 2020, this is what happens when a ghost gets fed up with your bickering, throws up his hands and storms out of the house he's haunting. The uploader explains that during their last visit to this place, they experienced the door slamming but didn't have a chance to record it, so this time they returned to capture it on film. This video is cut down to 3 minutes of the 50 that were recorded. The clip shows the boys arguing whether or not one of their shirts is red, before deciding to call it quits with the filming, since it had been nearly an hour. Just then, something clearly slams in the distance. The uploader says his friend thought it was the hinges of the door rather than a ghost, but decides that the video is proof it wasn't the hinges. He also claims that he and a friend saw a shadow person in this building as well. The uploader writes, "Something said that it could have been air in the last upload, but it wasn't sure. The thing, if it was air, it would have opened it. The air is coming from outside, so it would push out to open. Instead, what we caught was a ghost slamming the door the opposite direction of where the air was coming from, so the force of the door slamming was going against the air." This was filmed in Harlingen, Texas, and there wasn't much airflow in the place according to the uploader. The group was sweating from so much stale heat. Well, maybe the ghost was too. An abundance of paranormal activity means Stephanie Elmager is never truly home alone.
I'm going to walk around my house. The reason I'm filming this right now is I'm trying to catch some paranormal activity on my recorder. As you can see, there is nobody in my house. Do you hear that? My TV just came on.
A kids program politely tells her to get out of the house, and then the lights turn on by themselves.
Oh, and the alarm just went off. Do you see this? There is nobody in this house. The TV just came on. Holy. If that was a ghost, give me another sign. Anything. Anything. You gotta be kidding me. Does everybody see that?
She crosses the kitchen to show us where the light switches are, and
there is nobody in this house. Look, The lights are right there. If anybody at all, I'm gonna turn it off. It was even up. Look, if anybody... Holy... What the...
A bedroom is haunted by a pale figure with a long crooked neck who is either standing behind or on top of her bed. When she does a double take, she finds it much closer now, peering at her from around the door.
Oh my God. Okay, I don't get scared very often. Oh, that just freaked me out. Okay, let's walk back in there.
I agree with her completely. I saw it too, so either this is a real ghost sighting, which I'm almost sure it is, or we are both losing our minds.
I am not losing my mind. There is nobody in here to look. There is nobody anywhere.
Up a long forest mountain path is an abandoned house near the Chinese city of Chengdu that is said to be haunted. An explorer named the Sneezing Monkey travels to the fabled house to see if anything paranormal is there. There's not much left inside, but he does find an old book that he seems particularly interested in. At 2 minutes and 6 seconds, it almost looks like it gets slapped out of his hands by a possible ghost, but he could have dropped it too. Tell me what these pages say. For some reason, he seems to feel it's interesting enough to show the camera. Not much else happens, and just when I was doubting this house was haunted, I hear this. He's looking at some kind of fire pit or something and hears a noise. He looks up and hears it again coming from the attic. He doesn't stick around for long and wisely decides to leave. While this isn't an extraterrestrial, it very much looks like something straight out of a sci-fi film published by the Mastercaster in December of 2020. This group just caught a lamprey, an ancient jawless fish with a mouth made of rows of vampire-like teeth.
We just caught a lamprey in the Jordan Creek right now. Look at that dude.
The parasitic fish is native to the northern and western Atlantic Ocean, and its funnel-like mouth sucks on all types of fish prey, including catfish, trout, sturgeon, walleye, and more. This monster was captured in the group's local creek, but lampreys have also been found in the Great Lake region. Many in the comments are familiar with the lamprey, with commenter John Sparks warning, "Be careful, it will latch onto you." Apparently this thing preys on humans too. Fisherman's Chronicles gets a catch while kayaking in the San Francisco Bay, but you'll never guess what he's caught on camera, or rather, what's caught him.
Oh my... That's a fish on. That's a fish on. Oh my... This is a big fish on. I got a big fish on. Oh, this is a halibut. It's for a short keeper.
He thinks he's hooked a halibut, but it's much worse than that. A stingray. Its whipping tail is like a serrated needle that will mess you up in seconds flat. He has to get the hook out of its mouth fast while avoiding the tail.
Wow, look at... Got a good view of that. This guy's trying to sting me.
Nothing new for him. He's caught hundreds of them before, but I guess everyone can make a mistake. The tail connects and a barbed wire feeling races up his arm. Now he has to get the hook out with the ray in his lap, and he's lucky it doesn't take a chunk out of his thigh here at 7 minutes and 17 seconds. They do have razor sharp teeth. He gets to a hospital as fast as he can, and this is the end result.
Well, I had to row like half a mile back to the kayak launch with a stingray tail like sticking out of my arm.
It's healed up nicely since, and he doesn't have any nerve damage to speak of, but it's not something I would ever want to go through, and I hope he never does again. He's lucky it wasn't higher up and nicked an artery. Also, I just wanted to commend him for not getting angry at the stingray for defending itself. He focuses on getting the hook out of the stingray first before getting help for himself.
I still want to release this guy as fast as possible.
I think everyone's first instinct is to throw it back into the water, so this must have taken an incredible amount of self-restraint. Michael and Durez is in a car full of friends when they hear a distant voice call out from the nearby woods. I didn't really hear much the first time I watched, but when they slow it down, you can clearly hear someone say something like, "Help me, guys." I think this could be paranormal because it doesn't sound like a normal human voice at all. Theoretically speaking, a person screaming at a speeding car with the windows rolled up would almost certainly not be heard by anybody inside. Is this the trail of a ghost? Posted to the r/ghosts subreddit. Jen the Hab explains, "My dad took a video of a helium balloon floating around the house to scare my kids, but captured something else. The video shows the helium balloon in question drifting in the corner of the room. As it floats there, suddenly a white, unidentifiable object flies forward and another swings past. According to Jen the Hab, her father didn't see the wisp until he watched the video back. Redditor Mr. Blistered Lips writes, "If not paranormal, I'd suggest a flash from reflected sunlight off of a car outside hitting the lens," but the Redditor counters that, according to her, the back deck looks over a conservation area where no cars pass. While some viewers still insist it's a reflection, others think something is definitely moving in front of the camera. But is it paranormal? What is your wild guess? Personally, I'm going with the first option. This haunted home has visible spirits stalking about. Published by A Sip of Fear in January of 2022, an unsettling figure was captured in the glass during this paranormal investigation. After setting up some cameras in this haunted home, activity begins pretty quickly. A wardrobe door is captured opening and closing, and later a bang causes the paranormal investigator to jump out of his skin. In another room, a stationary camera captures a figure's reflection in the glass door of a shelf. And again, the wardrobe door opens and closes repeatedly. Is this spirit trying to tell us something?
What's the distance?
Or does she just want to be left alone? After a mission to an old haunted railway tunnel, Crypto Girl 13 spied something mysterious in her footage while editing. Published in August of 2013, the Crypto Girl and her friend are navigating through the forest and mud to the mouth of the tunnel. After wading through obstacles of sludge and climbing over large branches, they arrive at the entrance. Zooming into the deep darkness, the video starts glitching out as she talks about the story of a monster living in the tunnel.
Old story that some kind of creature, I think there's some kind of creature that...
Getting closer to the entrance, they hear some creepy noises inside.
That.
What that?
But it was upon editing the footage that they spotted these two glowing red orbs, which they believe to be eyes of the legendary monster. Were they closer to the cryptid than they ever imagined? Or is there something else inhabiting this old railway tunnel? Since it's been almost 10 years, I don't know if this mystery will ever be solved. A YouTuber named Sarah Elizabeth brings some friends to search for ghosts at the Columbia State Park in California. When they start hearing weird noises, they think it could be an old water pump turning on, but I'm not so sure. So you tell me what this is.
45 degrees out. It was pretty cold. What is that sound?
Later, they are walking down a historic street when they get a bad feeling about one of the houses. These historic houses are empty, and no one has lived in them for quite some time. Check out the curtains here at the 10-minute mark. Notice how they are pretty much closed. Now look again, and 15 seconds later, you'll see they do appear to be open much wider this time.
Doesn't that curtain look like it's moving? Over there?
Finally, as they look out onto the old creepy street, their camera picks up this nearby growl.
I never kept
They don't seem to hear it until later, but tell me if you can. Tyler Heitzson is bored in math class when he notices a ceiling panel going berserk all by itself. None of the other ones are moving except this one, though I can't say why. I know it can't be a fan blowing or anything like that, because the Snapchat audio is very clear. Take a listen. If this is real, like he says, then I think it might be time for Tyler to transfer classes, and maybe even schools. This house is supposedly haunted, and the family room reportedly has the most activity out of anywhere. As you can see in this close-up shot, there is nothing out of the ordinary about this mirror at all. But once the paranormal investigation is underway, a woman's colorless face appears in the upper left quadrant. She is staring directly at the camera with two black holes for eyes. Her thin lips and nose clearly visible. As far as I can see, there is nothing in the room that could cast such a strangely vivid reflection. This video of a speedy silhouette looks like it has to be in fast forward, but as the timestamp shows, it somehow manages to cross the room in less than 1 second. I can only assume that this shadow person has been seen at least once before, hence the bedside camera. Notice how all of its features remain blacked out despite there being plenty of natural light. What's particularly worrisome is how it clears the room in an instant, and then comes back into the frame to linger by their bedpost some more. Apparently the two seem to share a mutual fascination. A YouTuber named Texas Savage has traces of paranormal activity left outside her bedroom door, or so she claims. Look at this part and tell me if you can see what she means, and if you can't see it, it's much more apparent in this next video of hers that I'm about to show. You can see it a bit better here, as she points out the individual fingers and notices the lack of a thumb.
Here's one, and here's one, but there's no thumb.
In this next video taken on a different day, you can get a better look at the handprints and see how long the fingers really were, far too big to be on her own. And since she claims to live alone, it can't be anyone else unless someone has been going into her bedroom without her knowing. On this day, she also finds some fresh scratches not too far from where the handprint is, and while inspecting the rest of her house, she finds 2 new marks at the bottom of her bathroom door that are perfectly aligned, almost like eyes. If you don't think this is real, then what do you think caused this? Just like all of the other markings, she can recall nothing happening in this room to make them appear overnight. A family is watching television when a mysterious knocking sound pulls them away from their show and into a frightening situation. Listen to this part and tell me if you can hear it too. They sit up and hear 2 more knocks, much deeper than before. It almost sounds like 2 heavy footsteps coming from within the room. As he opens the door, but according to him, there was nothing to protect the home against. Absolutely no one was on the other side. One more observation, an orb happens to go by at the exact moment they hear the knocking sound, which I think could be a signal that someone's already found its way into their home. If you hear something outside, don't go investigate. You might not like what you find. Published to YouTube in July of 2006, TCan456 writes, "Just watch, but not before you go to bed. Take his advice." In this home video, our friend, who is clearly scared judging by his breathing patterns, looks around his house after hearing something and then heads outside to investigate. He passes a large potted plant as he turns a corner. Nothing appears to be there, but when he turns back, a figure flees from behind the plant and races into the darkness. The cameraman runs after it but quickly loses the creature. He searches along some thick hedges in his backyard and soon faces the plant man again. Instead of searching him out further, he races inside, locking the door behind him, runs to his room, locking that door too, and gets in bed. All the while there is banging. Although it's not clear where the sound is coming from, the rest of the video is nothing but a black screen, one upon which you keep expecting a jump scare to surface. Don't worry, the fear is over, but my questions about this video remain unanswered. What if you heard this sound outside your home? Posted to TikTok by Pablo Riviero 702. This scream sounds like chills made audible, happening outside the door of what appears to be a trailer. The scream is followed by dramatic banging on the door.
De soberbio. Y está sucediendo en este momento. Así que no sé qué.
Whatever's outside starts shaking the trailer. It sounds like it's banging on every window, but you cannot see what's outside in the darkness. In a second video, you can hear even more terrifying sounds right outside. It honestly sounds like a demon. It continues to bang on the trailer. Would you answer the door? Come on, fellow adult, you can handle it. This resident office ghost is unusually helpful. Posted to the paranormal evidence subreddit by Nice Socks Dude, the ghost here opens filing cabinet drawers so that you don't have to. In the video, the bottom drawer of the cabinet slowly opens. When the cameraman pushes it closed, the upper drawer then slowly slides forward. Push closed again. Both drawers slide open on their own. The cameraman pushes them closed again, but they both again open, one after the other. Some in the comments think the load is too heavy. They might be spring-loaded or off balance, or the entire building's foundation has sunk, but at least one Redditor agrees that it's a ghost. Do you think this office is haunted? If that's the case, at least this ghost is helpful. It is said that evil resides here. This paranormal explorer is about to greet it. Ricky Velasquez seems to sense this reputed evil early on. He then senses this hiding under a bench. While outside the structure, he hears a hushed whining or whimpering. Shortly after, he hears what sounds like a bottle being kicked. Back inside, he senses something in his presence again, and then on an upper floor, this unexplained sound. Is evil still lingering? Ricky isn't the only one who can feel it. There's some terror to be had in this abandoned structure. Published by Terror El Extremo, this paranormal explorer first encounters these creepy bats hanging upside down like untransformed vampires. The ambiance is set now, and it grows as the cameraman comes across this piece of artwork painted on a stone wall. Is this divining what will come? When he continues to explore the area, suddenly he hears a scream. This is accompanied by what sounds like a blast or some other loud noise. Who is screaming out in this remote wilderness? And what was the sound that followed? Which one of us volunteers to wait around and find out? Have you ever got the feeling that you're being followed? Poppy's Paradise posted this footage to Reddit writing, "Something is following me." The guy in the clip says he was driving when he noticed something outside in the darkness. He stopped his car on the side of the road to film whatever it is, and he shouts a greeting to the figure outside the window.
There's something up here. Hello?
As he drives slowly past, the something that he saw following him comes into view. The figure looks like a girl straight out of The Ring, dressed in white with long black hair. The ghastly creature is seen only for a moment before the clip ends. Is this thing truly following him? We can only hope this was his only sighting. You would need serious courage to stay calm in a situation like this. Sometimes you come across video footage on YouTube that just gives you a strange, unsettling feeling in the pit of your stomach, despite appearing relatively harmless. This clip is one of those types. Abner H7 posted the video titled Movo10 to Reddit. The clip begins with an emergency warning sound and reads, "Please hold, playback will begin." A dark screen appears to show the woods at night. The phrase "Hollow was alive" flashes scratchily on the screen for a moment, leaving viewers to wonder what that hollow lie is. The walk through the dark forest starts to morph into an unsettling funhouse mirror. The leaves on the ground sway and distort. Another phrase flashes across the screen reading, "They are making it real. Who are they? What is being made real? We are left to guess." Continued shots of the leaves, branches, and grass in the darkness are replaced, suddenly by a shot of the moon. Then one more message appears, "Help us." The clip then ends with another high-pitched sound, an official message indicating the playback is complete. What does this creepy clip mean? And why is this YouTube channel full of them? Is someone there? Posted to the Ghosts subreddit. Resurrect writes, "The De Soto mine in Arizona is the creepiest place I've ever been. At the time this was taken, nobody else was there. Yet listen closely to their recording. From deep within the mine, you can hear footsteps walking on what sounds like wooden planks." The Redditor says in the video that his eyes are playing tricks on him, but he writes that they didn't hear anything but water droplets at the time. They only heard the footsteps later as they watched the recording back.
I really hope it's not my highest play in this game.
Is something in this tunnel with them? Some in the comments think it's paranormal. Others suggest the water droplet theory, which is that the echoing of water droplets can distort to the point that they sound like other sounds. What do you think? Is this nothing but distorted water droplets? Or is something at the end of that dark tunnel? Submitted to the Chills Narrator subreddit by Kane Sweet 2000. This Redditor wrote, "Hi all, we moved into a council house since January, and we had some very strange things happening. We have a vintage radio and it has been making some strange noises. The weird thing is there isn't any batteries inside it." Let's watch their submission and see what they're talking about.
Fish?
Sorry, benda. Sorry, what's that?
There was certainly some debate about this video in the comments. Lechiflada wrote, "That's really strange." Well, GameCat UK wrote, "Where is the radio in the video? Do you have a picture? I have a feeling it's a rare example of an old semiconductor picking up on local radio waves, though the amplification is baffling. I think the radio is that thing in the bottom left corner at the 5-second mark. Which side are you on here? Let me know in the comments. Will this couple live happily ever after?" Shared by YouTube channel blah blah. This video was originally posted on TikTok. The mysterious video of what appears to be a wedding party is trending in the Arabic-speaking YouTube community. A pair of newlyweds sit together with a forlorn look on their faces, while an officiant reads through some documents or scripture with the wedding party gathered round. We can assume all is normal, but a moment later something unsettling happens. Watch the bride-to-be.
They tell you guys the way I'm like crazy. Not his friend, his friend is like having. Không đâu là ba của nó hay má đây nha. Má của nó má.
What came over her?
Of his scene reach, you get crazy to this world. You keep well.
Her eyes grow wide as though she's suddenly become possessed by something. She then follows an unknown object above before having a strange fit and appearing to silently scream in pain. Did a mysterious force from above possess her? Or did that force simply strike in that moment and cause her agonizing pain? It's hard for me to tell here what may have happened without further context or an extended video, but if I had to guess, I'd say something possessed her. It's all in the eyes. Jim Lin is visiting Harbin, Japan, and now faces bowl after bowl of gourmet insects. The pressure is on to sample the culture by eating as many different dishes as he can. At 4 minutes and 1 second, the juices of a plump cicada hits the back of his throat with a loud squirt.
Oh, let's go. Oh, let's go.
The insides look wet and green, and not like something I would look forward to trying. How would you even tell if this was cooked right? But there's still more bugs to eat. This oversized grasshopper looks more like a crayfish. They are in a busy market with music and people having conversations everywhere, and yet the crunch is louder than anything else going on. When in Rome, do as the Romans do is an age-old expression that means you should follow the rules of other cultures in their country, but I don't think everyone could handle this bug buffet. It may just make your jaw drop. You might want to avoid this forest because it's apparently home to brain-hungry zombies, published by Adient in October of 2021. A man appears completely lost in the thick foliage of a forest at night. As he's walking, a terrifying noise is heard. He continues, periodically calling out to whatever awaits him in the dense trees.
Hello? Nang? Oi! Sorry!
That's when he sees this.
Hey!
Something lying in the dirt crawls out, obviously to feast upon his brains. The man turns around and races out of the forest in fear. At one point, he is knocked to the ground. He looks around, whimpering in the darkness, but doesn't see anything around him. Did the zombie give up, or is he on the verge of an ambush? What should you do when the Ouija board answers you? Published to the r/ghosts subreddit, Nepa Smash asks viewers their thoughts on this scary video, which was filmed during a Ouija board session in a haunted room of their home. In the clip, the group asks if any spirits would like to communicate. After a moment, there is an alarming bang off screen.
Are there any spirits that would like to communicate with us?
Two of the boys look up. Right before the bang, however, another mysterious action unfolds, but it's hard to see if you don't know it's there. A paintbrush is thrown across the room. Although it's difficult to tell in the video, this Imgur photo shows the incident in more detail. Many in the thread think a non-supernatural explanation might be that the guy laying on the floor off to the right could have played a trick on the others somehow, but some note that he doesn't even seem to react. As for the knock, well, the combination of the knock and the projectile does seem uncanny. Setting the rest aside, Redditor Eekecum draws the right conclusion. Please tell me you closed out of the Ouija board after that. Who knows what might have happened if they didn't? Iljin Pudding of the South Korean YouTube channel Ghost Horror Diary has a creepy video with an important message. Iljin wants to prove that ghost hunting is not a men's only activity and that she can be just as brave. She goes exploring an abandoned building all by herself, a haunted place where paranormal energy pours forth from the entrance. Now this lone ghost hunter starts to catch some very interesting things on video.
여잔데?
Next, she captures this. A scary smiling ghost face makes her recoil in horror.
항상 찍히는 문에서 많이 찍히더라고. 근데 오늘은 안 찍히는 게 맞나 봐. 뛰다닌다고? 야, 일로 와봐. 뭐야?
She presses on down a hidden hallway teeming with paranormal energy, and at the top of some stairs is a really weird painting that she zooms in on. Something about this place, the painting, the room, feels haunted.
뭐야 이게 이상한데요?
No more than this, she says, and walks back down. I would like to know more about this painting if anybody happens to recognize it, or anything about the scene it's portraying. It looks like somebody in knight's armor is raising a shield in the air at a podium with someone kneeling behind them, but that's all I can tell. Oh, and there's one more thing that's scary. On the floor of another room is a handwritten sign with this message that freaks her out. Who left it here and what does it say?
아니, 이거 한글 맞아요?
A Texas A&M University student in Corpus Christi who goes by the name of Fiffertisor has been hearing noises in his dorm room for quite some time. What began as an occasional knocking noise now, months into the semester, has developed into persistent paranormal sounds, stuff like footsteps coming from an empty room. This red line at 15 seconds is where the far wall is, so like I said, no one is in there, except for a poltergeist. No one could have lifted this mattress, because the room is too small for anyone to hide. Next to the mattress is a closet that's empty and that's it, nothing else. Now the bathroom door opens and closes, yet he finds no one inside of the tiny space either, and this area is even smaller than the room before. In all fairness, there are 2 seconds of darkness from 46 seconds to 48 seconds that I guess could mark a spot where he might have stopped recording, let someone out of the bathroom, and then started recording again to make it look empty. I didn't see any such transition in the first room with the mattress, so my gut instinct says this event is real. Todd T captures a large humanoid-looking figure going down his neighbor's chimney. He's too far away to pick up any discernible details, but the creature looks to be far too large to be a bird or pretty much any other animal. Whatever this is, it looks to be the size of a human. The mysterious creature stuffs itself down the chimney in less than a minute, at which point I'm guessing it roams around the interior of the home for whatever it can find. What happened to Todd's neighbor is anyone's guess. The David Oman house is a supposedly haunted home in Beverly Hills that's not too far from where the Manson cult claimed the life of celebrity Sharon Tate. A team of paranormal investigators are busy taking pictures of a dark room at night with an infrared camera to detect heat signatures. Suddenly, the floorboards creak nearby as if someone is near, and this message is broadcast on their equipment. The team bravely decides to stay put instead of taking its advice. Not too long after, they develop this haunting photograph while snapping pictures in the dark. This heat signature undoubtedly looks like the outline of a human. While this photo could be doctored or simply staged, it could also be another piece of evidence that the David Oman house is anything but safe or normal. Who knows what would have happened if they had stayed there much longer. This mini golf course is haunted by so many golfers who didn't win their round. Published to YouTube by Urban Ghosts Urban Exploration in April of 2021, Joe, Rob, and Kate are up for a course in fear as they explore this abandoned mini golf in the middle of a lightning storm. The whole thing kicks off with nothing but whispers. In the beginning, as they explore a room that's been torn apart, you can hear this whispering in the background. As they continue to explore, there's another voice that sounds like it says, "That's creepy," as they come across a stuffed teddy bear. Joe notes that the teddy bear wasn't here when he last visited the place. As they move glass off the teddy a short while later, two distinct knocks are heard. Despite this, they continue exploring. At this point, in a darkened room, two lights shine clearly above Joe's head, but these could either be a passing vehicle's headlights shining through a window, or they might be from one of the crew's devices. At the same time, it sounds like a faint voice is heard.
Either road noise, or somebody potentially walking around out there and subtle whispers.
As Joe is talking a short while later, something or someone is heard speaking over him.
Necrophonic app,
The voice is loud but muddled, and the crew seems to have heard it coming from outside the room. They decide to explore the ceiling air shaft. For a moment, you can hear weird laughter.
Who's up there?
Later, while filming inside the same air shaft, a distinct boom is heard which causes Kate to let out a terrifying scream. This, of course, scares the entire crew. Later, whispers are heard in the air shaft again. Then they film up inside the air shaft. This is when you can hear a muffled female voice. It sounds like it's saying "move on back" shortly after. Another knocking sound. The crew believes there's a spirit up in the air shaft. They are listening deeply, and at this point it sounds like a woman singing, but they don't appear to hear her on site. YouTuber Stella Gomez also notes that the sunray has been moved against the wall at the end of the video. It wasn't there to begin with, so unless the crew moved it, then who did? Being as they usually don't disturb anything, its movement is all the more disturbing. Is the lady in the air shaft toying around with them? When there's something angry in your home, it will make its presence known. Published to YouTube by Lainey and Ben in June of 2021, this short scary clip shows their haunted house in action yet again. Lainey is making breakfast and walks over to set the dishes on the table, but the moment she turns her back to the cupboard, it swings wide open and a bottle of ketchup is expelled from it. Lainey catches a glimpse of the paranormal activity, and although she still appears a bit shocked, it's clear she's seen this sort of stuff before. She simply calls out for Ben and then calmly leaves the kitchen.
Ben?
Is the spirit just reminding Lainey not to forget the ketchup, or is this a forewarning? Because a red liquid condiment seems a bit too on the nose. Tell us your theory. What is this poltergeist after? This footage was apparently found inside the Penhurst Asylum, which is a real abandoned place located in Pennsylvania. The footage contains two students exploring the clearly abandoned building, and while nothing too bizarre happens in this footage, the backstory and timing are enough to make you scream. The two student explorers were never seen again after this. Well, that is terrifying enough. I want you to focus on the timestamp in the corner. Notice how they are ending up in new spots in the asylum at a faster and faster rate. Near the end of the video, the pair end up in the forest at a rate where the speed they are traveling is simply inhuman. What do you think is happening here? If this footage is real, then it is a case where the happenings would never be believed, if not for it being recorded. Is Lainey and Ben's poltergeist getting stronger? Watch this video and judge for yourself. As usual, the poltergeist seems to be most active in the kitchen.
Activity more and more aggressive.
He has even resorted to ruining their dinner.
Poltergeists just seem to be so frustrated.
And he isn't finished. It goes without saying that Lainey and Ben share space with one of the most active poltergeists on YouTube. I don't know if Dave and Andy are becoming more aggressive due to anger, or if their YouTube following is cheering them on. If you've ever wondered who would win in a battle, a human or a ghost, you're about to have your answer. This clip was posted to Facebook in March of 2020. The footage shows a semi-transparent ghost throwing rocks and other items from under a bridge. As other men enter the scene and see what's transpiring, one of them takes it upon himself to run at the ghost man and confront him. After a struggle with the man, the ghost comes out ahead. Many more men join in before the ghost man escapes and assumedly glides off to his ghost den. What's happening here? What did this ghost possibly want? This story needs a follow-up. A Reddit user named Poncy Flauns hears something outside of his home that leaves him too afraid to move. Listen to this part and tell me if you hear a creepy woman's voice carrying a twisted tune. The haunting melody repeats over and over again, growing louder each time. There's no way that this is an animal. One person commented that this sounds like it could be an opera, and I can't say that they're wrong. Listen again.
Like, what is that?
Then you hear what sounds to me like a cry for help, and the singing never returns. If I lived in that house, I would be immediately locking all the doors and windows. What is this creature? Please, writes a YouTuber named Terriana, to which I have but one question in return. Why are you still in front of it? I would have been long gone. Seriously though, it looks like some kind of toxic caterpillar, except here's the thing. This video was caught on camera on a boat while out at sea. I think we can all agree that the creature is covered in fur, something I've never seen on any deep sea creature caught on tape before, and it's really bizarre. This video was posted in 2007 and I couldn't find anything else like it, so I'm not sure what this mysterious deep sea creature is. I think it's laying on its side and normally crawls along the lighter colored bottom portion. Hopefully those long protrusions up and down its body are hairs and not sharp quills. This old house is allegedly haunted by the angry spirit of a previous inhabitant. Watch what happens in the dark basement shortly after a ghost hunter named Lylil Show sets up a camera and leaves. As soon as the lights turn off and the door shuts, an abnormal amount of orbs dance all around the camera, which then tips over. I think this is more than a coincidence because it happens within 5 seconds of his exit. Something down there obviously doesn't want to be filmed. The angry spirit resists all attempts to communicate. Here it swats an electrometer used to detect paranormal disturbances in the air. Between this and the camera falling over, I think the spirit wants to be left alone, and I think it's probably best to respect its privacy before it gets any more insistent. East Riddlesden Hall in West Yorkshire, England, is considered one of Britain's most haunted houses. While at the hall, YouTuber Roman Joe took a video of the old barn to send to her partner. When she watched it back, she noticed something strange. Let's take a look. Did you see it? Watch the window to the left of the carriage. Something seems to block the light for a moment. The YouTuber believes it's a spirit passing by the window. If it's true that no one was on site, to me the only thing that could explain this is if that window had a shutter that just so happened to move with the wind at the same moment that the camera pans past. Otherwise, this is for sure the Grey Lady, and I think they should get out of there immediately. A family in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania sees something that is so incredible that they have to stop what they are doing and start recording.
There's another spark. You see what else?
What's that?
I need to take a picture. And
What is that?
tree.
No. Right there. See?
Uh-huh.
Strange, shimmering spots appear out of nowhere and seem to float above the meadow and nearby forest floor. For a moment, they think that it could be other people, but whatever they are seeing is floating around everywhere, even in the trees. Many people who watch this video think that these are ghostly soldiers from the Civil War marching in single file lines, just like they did on the day of their demise. Others think that this could be flashlights from hikers, though this really doesn't look like a flashlight to me. I would definitely like to hear what you think is causing this scenario. A YouTuber named Tracy Slaughter and her family hear a disturbance at the top of the steps, and they grab the camera to record what they are seeing for proof. It starts out very hard to see at first, but soon a pale white outline slowly appears against the wall. The head becomes visible in the very center of the room where the two wall patterns meet.
I didn't say lights. You didn't say lights. Did you say go across? Well, I go across the top of the landing.
If you still don't see it, don't feel bad. The next part is much more obvious. Keep looking at the center of the stairway to see it.
Surely just gone across the top of the landing, and that's moving.
Can you maybe see it?
A being of pure white energy rushes down the steps and heads straight at them. If you play it in slow motion, you can see something actually comes around the corner and charges down the steps at them, sending everyone scattering. I guess this could be special effects, but I would like to get your opinion. The way everyone screams at the exact same time with true panic in their voices makes me think it could be real, in which case I'm glad they got out of there fast. If it was rushing forward to possess one of them, then I truly hope it does not succeed. A YouTuber named Maddie Ann thinks she sees something walking around her backyard, so she grabs a camera and a high-powered flashlight and sets out to record it. By the time she gets outside, she doesn't see it anymore, so she starts scanning the yard with her light to see if it will move again. The disfigured and misshapen shadow is what she finds. You can see it peeking from around a tree for a second before ducking back into the darkness. The shadow is not really the right size for a human, and the head appears to be bald and shaped oddly. What's really weird is how the camera captures no features. If this was a person, then you should be able to see more details under the light. After all, the camera is able to pick up the brown color of the tree, so you would think that the person behind it would show some color too. Instead, Maddie Ann passes over a creature with a blank face. I don't think this was one of her friends, though I guess it could be someone wearing a costume with black mesh over the face. Why would you ever chase a ghost? Ask these children, who came across one while playing at night. The description of this video explains that a week after a woman took her own life, the residents claimed that a female ghost with long hair was plaguing the area after curfew. Children were trying to catch a bird in the area at night, when instead they found the ghost and gave chase. In the footage, the children are crying out and laughing as they chase a figure dressed in white along the railway. The figure is seen in a distance in the darkness. It appears to be walking slowly, swaying slightly. The boy follows just as slowly behind it, keeping a safe distance from the figure. Kids in the background eventually start crying. At the end of the video, the figure leaves the tracks and disappears in the darkness. If you ask me, they're lucky they didn't catch it. Uday Hindi is exploring an old building when he comes across a little girl staring at him from the corner of the room.
والله خايف أدخل
The door furthest away from both of them shuts all by itself before he gets a chance to investigate. Despite this, Uday Hindi bravely pushes into the next room and discovers she is not a girl, but rather a creepy life-size doll. He roughly handles the doll from room to room and throws it on the floor, and that's when the doll decides it's had enough.
إخوان أنا انسحبت من المغامرة مش خوف ولكن أنا تأذيت كثير.
I saw no strings when the doll moved, did you? Anyway, he is busy analyzing some strange and possibly demonic markings on the doll when suddenly this happens. Watch and try and translate what he says shortly before it goes all wrong.
طلعوا يا إخوان حتى الإشي داخلي.
This part I feel like could have been from the way the doll was leaning on the wall before it fell, but the incident before that I feel could be quite real. So many YouTube videos, so little time. Many videos published to YouTube never even see the light of day. Posted in September of 2019, this creepy little video was discovered on the French website PetitTube. For those who don't know what PetitTube is, it randomly lands on YouTube videos with low viewership. Some have no views at all, others usually under 100 views. The short clip appears like nothing more but a random drive down a dark road at night with a slightly eerie flickering streetlight up ahead. The glow is strobing out, lighting up the trees in the distance with a haunted house effect. The driver turns off his headlights to provide the viewer an even creepier shot of the strobe streetlight. Music plays in the background. A feeling of foreboding creeps in, as it should. Wait until the end of the video. You won't be disappointed. Now that is bizarre. If you saw someone in a window just standing and staring, what would you think? Would you consider it abnormal? Would you be concerned about their mental state? These Lithuanians saw this strange staring man as cause for concern when they posted this video to their YouTube channel. Reposted to the Chills Narrator subreddit. By Martillo, the Redditor writes, couple of Lithuanian YouTubers are driving with other couple friends around the city and they come across this strange guy in his apartment. They're saying that he maybe is possessed. The windows in the building across from the Lithuanian's car are all darkened, apart from one brightly lit window on the second floor. There stands a man appearing to stare out into the night, oddly still. Upon closer inspection, the man looks like he's rolling his head around, before turning to the side and staring off again. He stares forward for a time, this having gone on for a solid minute, before turning around and switching off the light in his apartment, likely because he notices the men outside are shining their light up at his window, watching him. Martillo notes that although the men in the video are laughing, the image of someone staring out their window blankly is somewhat scary. He says the behavior is strange. Well, that may be so. You could argue the same for the behavior of the occupants of this car. If you do a seance in a haunted home, expect the spirits to come out to play. Published by Ali H in March of 2022. Something is wreaking havoc in this haunted house. After seeing this unexplained mess in their kitchen, this couple was left wondering who is responsible.
I closed the gate. I closed the gate. I closed the gate.
Maybe it's this weeping spirit. Do you hear that? Later, Ali is in another room of the home when a loud thud sounds from the next room. He goes to check it out and finds the spirits have made another tornado of a mess.
Oh no.
He tries to communicate with the poltergeist through a spirit box, and as he's recording, the spirit pulls up a chair.
Oh my...
Later, Ali hears someone or something coming up the stairs. Are the spirits gathering round? It certainly seems like it. While this doesn't look like your classic unidentified flying object, it certainly is one. Published by Arte Morbid in April of 2022, this scary video captured something hovering over a street in Mexico City. Security camera footage shows a dark object floating down the center of the street about a foot above the pavement. While the uploader thought it was a Mylar balloon at first, a closer look had him second-guessing. He notes that it has a shadow and sometimes moves in a slight rotation. Some of the comments still think it's a Mylar balloon or a drone. Others think it's CGI. One commenter says it looks like it's morphing in and out. Do you have any other theories? I think there's certainly something mysterious going on here. Have you ever received a call from the beyond? TikToker Epic Paranormal posted this video explaining that their mom received a phone call from her uncle. The only problem is, he's passed away. I don't know about you, but that entire clip gave me chills. Many in the comments have similar stories, having received calls from their departed loved ones. Others have a feeling of dread after watching this clip. I can't blame them. If I got a voicemail like this, I would be terrified. Would you get on a small wooden boat in a murky pond full of alligators? YouTube channel The Omar Gosh Vlogs dives right in this scary video.
Nobody said anything about pushing up.
It's the bird. That's it, okay.
Can you see the gator in the water, drifting toward them? You might think these folks landed in gator territory by accident, but it looks like this is actually something people pay to do.
Guys, there's tons of outdoor animals. Savannah looks hungry, don't you guys think?
The gators look like they could chomp them at any moment. In fact, the group is sandwiched in between them.
Look at these guys here. They're so crazy. Getting followed by an alligator.
Break it in half, George. Break it in half and get through.
Oh my god.
What do you think? Would you pay money to be gator bait? Me neither. Once you've investigated enough haunted places, you're bound to encounter a shadow figure or two. YouTuber Dennis from Dark Life faces off with one in this haunted house.
Yes, carefully.
Did you see it? There's definitely something there, but it's not there for long. After it crosses the room, it vanishes completely. I think this demon won't reveal its full nature. At this point, he is but a shadow. This building is teeming with poltergeists, and YouTuber Han Kardashlur is about to face off with them. They throw the first punch as soon as he enters, and they don't let up. They continue as he moves around the building.
Şaka mı bu ya? Gassal. Puf. Oğlum nereden geliyor sesin? Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
But he doesn't leave until they become more aggressive. What do you think? Would you stick around in here? I think there aren't many worse places to be. Paranormal explorer Crisel Luna has spent many sleepless nights due to paranormal activity in her home in the Dominican Republic. She decided to record her bedroom while sleeping. This is what she captured. Watch the pillow on the bed. Next, the picture moves on the wall. Chriselle wakes up for a bit, maybe sensing something, but then goes back to sleep, and the picture moves again. Chriselle gets up after witnessing it for herself. That's when she sees this mysterious anomaly. And while outside, she captures this face in the window. Has Chriselle unknowingly brought home legions of spirits and demons during her paranormal investigations? That's my theory, and it seems they're determined to never let her sleep again. Lainey and Ben's haunted house has turned up the intensity in recent months. Now things are levitating. Watch the lamp to the left. A little later, a cutlery drawer opens and closes in the kitchen. Then the tap turns on. You can hear the water running. It turns off and back on again. Shortly after, a strange, unexplained sound is heard. This is followed by some more strange noise, which sounds to me like a garbage disposal. Although all of the activity frightens me, the levitation in the beginning has me really hooked. It also has plenty of people really scared. Stay tuned for more fear. When a YouTuber named Lil Goofy is exploring some trails with his friend, they decide to take a rest. That's when someone decides it's time to make them run. Somebody who's probably been following them for a while. The sun is settling, but there's still enough light to catch a potential lurker video on their helmet cam. At 1 minute and 8 seconds, they think the strange man waves hello, but he might be waving around something sharp instead. They debate what to do next, and then he makes the decision for them when he runs straight at them. They lose him fast and crouch down in the weeds to let the lunatic run past, and then they go back to their car. What's weird about this video, assuming that it's real, is that he's dressed like a normal person. You wouldn't think twice about passing the stranger on a trail until they are already following you. It's probably one of their friends, but we'll never know for sure, and that's what makes it creepy. A devious Dora doll goes exploring this house in a freaky paranormal way. The moving figurine is caught on camera doing some really weird things that probably weren't advertised on the back of the box. Creepy stuff like this. According to the uploader of this video, there were no batteries in this doll when Dora turns to face the camera like she's been caught. You must pay attention, but as one person pointed out, you can see the doll slowly turning its head for about 13 seconds before it snaps. The little girl is too busy singing to notice what's going on, or maybe she's used to it happening by now. Then again, maybe there is somebody behind the door holding the doll in such a way that we can't see their hand. What you are hearing is the heavy breathing of a man who took the lives of 14 people. This message was left on the answering machine of one of his targets during the 70s. It's clear that he's trying to instill as much fear as possible before his next strike. He wants the person and the community at large to know what's going to happen to all of them, and he savors their fear. The message is so over the top that I think most people would have had a hard time believing it was real. But if you ever receive a message like this one, remember that there are people out there who are not fooling around and will hold themselves to their word. Paranormal explorers Mackie and Amanda are investigating 2 haunted South California estates in this scary video, the Kellogg House and the Mag House. Published in March of 2022, they are in the Kellogg House when something touches Amanda's arm.
Ooh, something just touched my arm. What? Something just touched my arm. Really? Super lightly, but I felt it just go like super light.
A moment later, she says it feels like the whole house is shaking. Later, they're sitting in one of the rooms when they hear someone knocking. Mackie also mentions that she heard someone's voice earlier.
Yeah, I did. I thought I heard someone. It sounded like a lady talking out there. Like I was probably a worker, but I remember Eli said that he's the only one who hears.
While in the dining room, they hear a beeping noise. It is not coming from one of their paranormal devices. Not long after, they hear footsteps, and then those footsteps sound like they're running right at them.
Anyone's up? No, really, what is that? I don't know. Is someone upstairs?
Later, they're in a child's bedroom when one of their paranormal devices picks up an EVP, and then a second one. They speak to the spirits using a spirit box, who tell them that they're present.
Yes. What? Here. What room are you in? Here.
Then when they leave the room, the music box is triggered again. Is something following them around these haunted estates? What does it want from them?
This is the master bedroom right here. This is where they wanted us to come, so... It's still going off. Something's following us in here.
Oh, you're right.
Something just... It was you, it went off, and then it was me, it went off, and then there was...
I'm like screaming or something in this tunnel. I'm gonna go check it out.
You may think you're ready for this list, but some scary videos you're just not meant to see. The boy in this video says he hears something in this tunnel that sounds to him like a scream, so he decides to go investigate. But no, the boy enters the darkness with nothing but a void at the end of it. For a while, all you hear is his own footsteps. Then you hear this. Sounds like Alien vs. Predator up in here. The kid stops for a moment, and in that quiet, a couple footsteps splash through the water. He then says hello to the creature he cannot see, before heading forward again, but he doesn't get very far. The rattling sound echoes throughout the tunnel before the thing starts to screech in a way that makes your insides tremble. As he runs, the creature quiets for a time but lets out a final terrifying screech as the boy exits the tunnel, likely wondering what in the world he almost happened upon. Is this for real? If so, what lies in the depths of this underground? Dark Dominator thinks it's the rake, while the last one suggests it's a feral hog, but I've never heard a rattle like that from a hog before. Lesson learned: the next time you hear screaming in the darkness, it's best to run in the opposite direction. Uncharted Travel is the name of a ghost hunting YouTube channel who goes exploring an abandoned children's mental asylum at 3 a.m. with over 100 years of terrifying history involving cases of neglect and mistreatment. This derelict mental asylum is supposed to be one of the scariest and most haunted places in Baltimore. Almost immediately, the ghost hunters think they hear movement coming from upstairs, weird noises that I can just barely hear, kind of like children's footsteps.
We're upstairs. There's somebody walking upstairs.
The creepy sounds are followed by much scarier noises. They go exploring the second floor of the not-so-abandoned but almost certainly haunted children's mental asylum in search of the scary noises, and that's when their paranormal investigation uncovers a mysterious brick wall sectioning off a part of the asylum with a child-sized hole in it. It's a creepy moment for sure, and not exactly something you would expect to find at 3 a.m. And maybe it's just me, but this looks like it might be a hidden room with bars behind the brick wall. Across from a children's playroom with 2 creepy dolls is a holding room with weird drawings on the wall, and much higher up, 2 round holes, perhaps marking where a caretaker lost their temper. They go exploring the rest of the rooms and start to retrace their steps to see if they missed anything. And that's when one of the ghost hunters has a scary moment and comes running back to the group.
No. The door just opened by itself. No.
Which one?
That door just opened by itself.
I do believe this part, and I'll tell you why. It's because there's an apparition behind them that I bet you didn't even see. As he runs downstairs screaming about a ghost opening the door, a scary ghost face is in the window, eyes and all. It appears again at 28 minutes and 26 seconds, a stretched out ghost face in the window, or perhaps it's their flashlight shining into the dirty glass. I'm not sure which. All I know is a half a minute later, all remnants of this bizarre ghost face in the window are completely gone. So I think it could have been a paranormal ghost sighting after all. Also, when they go upstairs to test the door that the ghost allegedly opens, they get more paranormal evidence on their equipment.
Yeah, you're getting big readings over here, Dan. I wonder why.
The beeping of their equipment turns into a solid note when they get within close proximity to the door. Notice how this solid note of paranormal evidence happens again when he actually opens the door.
Dan, those dolls are in a completely different place from when we last saw them.
Coincidentally, this is the same door leading into the children's playroom, and unless the ghost hunters repositioned them, at least one of the 2 creepy dolls moved by itself since the last time they were in here. So yeah, don't go exploring this abandoned mental asylum at 3 a.m. because apparently you'll see some truly weird things. When strange things start happening inside your house, it's probably for a reason. Posted to the Chills Narrator subreddit by the Dude 101. This video was originally published to YouTube by Truthfinder 30330 in April of 2020. According to the title, paranormal occurrences have been happening in this man's home. The first odd thing you notice is that when the man walks into his living room, the door is shut while he's arranging his gaming console and things on his entertainment center. The door opens somehow. He heads over to look outside and check it out. After finding no one, he returns inside, and the door slams shut. He goes back outside, but there's no one there, no one inside either. As he's looking around outside again, the door slams shut and he's locked out. He peers inside, but there appears to be nothing. Now he has to go around to get back inside his house. He lifts his camera, catching himself in the sights, while also capturing something over his shoulder. What is that? As he continues walking, he says hello to someone on the street. He's at his front door again, which he unlocks with a key, and immediately this happens. Absolutely terrifying. Bet you can't handle this video. If you like to scrounge for snacks at night, this video will have you second guessing that midnight snack. Posted to Reddit by Better Than Better, the home security footage reveals a dark and seemingly empty kitchen at night. Around 30 seconds in, a man trudges in and opens the fridge to get a snack. While the man is standing at the fridge, drinking something, watch the teddy bear on the kitchen table. It starts moving ever so slightly, bobbing up and down, but that's not all. When the man closes the fridge and turns to leave, the baby walker next to the table does this, confused about whether he saw what he thinks he saw. The man doesn't take his eyes off the baby walker as he leaves the room, but he returns a short time later, his wife by his side, presumably to explain what happened. As he's indicating that the baby walker moved of its own accord, the teddy bear falls over, or rather seems to fly backwards. As the wife jumps out of the room and the man approaches the bear, two of the chairs tucked under the table spring out simultaneously. If that isn't enough to scare you out of your own home, I don't know what is. I believe dealing with an incident like this is something 99% of people couldn't handle. When you visit a place that's notoriously haunted, don't expect to be disappointed. Posted to YouTube by Corndictive, the uploader writes of this clip, "Watch the very top window of the house. That flash didn't happen when we were taping this, and none of us know what it is. There were no cars out when this happened. The top window in question is that of the Glenmore Mansion." This clip necessitates a little background on this spooky place. As it turns out, many of the historical sites of Jefferson County, Tennessee are crazy haunted. Glenmore Mansion was built in 1799. It belonged to a family for a century and was later bought up by Mr. Milton Preston Jarnigan, who named the house after his first son who passed away as an infant. The home was in the Jarnigan family for a further century. Over the course of more than 2 centuries, passing in this old home were bound to occur, resulting in the haunting of these hallowed grounds. According to some legends, the house is like an Escher drawing in that the exterior windows are more in number than the interior windows. Others also suggest the home's height changes, although some say the mega mansion has 15 rooms across 5 stories, with other sites reporting there are 27 rooms. When the mansion falls dark, visitors claim there's a presence roaming around the home. But don't worry, the presence is benevolent. Some believe it to be the ghost of a local historian, Thomas Roach. When alive, Roach claimed that if ever a ghost was found there, it would be him. But one of the creepiest sightings happened outside the mansion altogether. A young girl is often seen walking along the estate's road at night in the darkness. From unexplained sounds to shadows in the mirrors, the mansion has had its fair share of ghastly ghosts. Tours of the home are routine, but once the lights are out and the house has been abandoned for the night, some say a light turns on in the attic. This Victorian gem of a house seems so perfectly cookie cutter that it's the perfect place for a haunting, and the unsettling nature of the home is confirmed by this video. The crew focuses in on an upstairs window where they see lights or a flash of white and something moving inside. Can you spot it? Whether you believe in ghosts or not, you probably wouldn't want to be in Glenmore Mansion when the lights turned on. The Sorrel Weed House is said to be one of the most haunted buildings in all of Savannah, Georgia. 2 different women have met their end here. One of them, named Matilda, who is said to still roam the courtyard in her black dress. While taking a tour of the area, a YouTuber named Billy Smith captures this quick video of a woman fleeing the house, wearing an all-black corset. What's weird is how she never actually opens the front door to her left. Instead, she appears out of nowhere to cross the space between 2 columns, and then does emerge from the other side. According to Billy, this figure was heading in the opposite direction of the parking lot, so if they were a staff member, they would have to double around to get to their car eventually. He waited until 1:30 in the morning and saw no one else from the house for the rest of the night, and certainly no other traces of her. Blake Dunkley wants to document this old haunted grocery store, and he challenges you to prove him wrong. Noises always seem to be coming from one room away.
You hearing this? It's the creepiest building I've ever been in.
Some much more obvious than others. He heads up the stairwell to prove that this is real. I think this next part sounds like a door slamming shut from somewhere above, and I also think it sounds like he needed to get the heck out of there. On the second floor is a single door that is locked when Blake tries it. This is the only door heavy enough to cause the slamming noises coming from upstairs before, but it doesn't even open. The only areas left to check out are the break room and bathroom. Nothing of interest is in here, so he's just about to leave when he hears one final sound.
And noises.
In my opinion, this is the same door that was locked moments ago, now slamming one more time. There's a meeting going down inside this office. The only problem? No one attended. Published by Teofilo in August of 2011, this mysterious activity was captured on camera. The video shows what looks like your everyday office, but you soon realize it absolutely isn't. A chair and stool move near simultaneously by themselves. After the chair slows to a standstill, the stool jerks out even further into the aisle. It continues to move, even tilting at one point. It later dives over onto the floor. Is this a ghost meeting gone wrong? Or is some visual trickery happening here? Either way, if you work here, it might be a good idea to call in sick tomorrow. This ghost hunter is wandering down the hallway of an abandoned building when he sees this.
مين انت؟ انت مين؟
Published by Hassan Barbar in June of 2021. Something is sitting behind that door at the edge of the hallway, and I'm pretty sure it's a djinn. The door bursts open to reveal that it is indeed one of the cloaked creatures of myth.
انت مين؟
Although the djinn does not move, the door keeps slamming shut and bouncing open again. This goes on for a long while, and finally the djinn makes a move.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Bismillah. Bismillah.
He disappears behind the shut door. Hassan approaches, and when he slams the door open and enters the room, he finds the djinn has vanished. As he looks for him, it seems like he is pushed from behind.
Bismillah.
Then in another room, objects are being smashed.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. وانا مش عارف شو البكي قاعد بيصير صراحة. بسم الله.
Will Hassan find the djinn again before it's too late?
حاسس في شيء وراي يا اخوان.
Do you think you could stick it out in an abandoned former asylum, and what if you were being watched when you got there? Published to YouTube by This Is Dan Bell in September of 2015. This Place of Nightmares is a hauntingly beautiful house of horrors. The stone building is hidden in an overgrown woods, and naturally Dan enters the basement first, wallpaper chipping from the wall. As he explores, Dan explains that he kept hearing noises throughout his exploration, which sounded like a person. He thinks a former patient returned to this building and was living there. Well, as a viewer, you're likely distracted by all the intricate details of this building, including its decorative tiles and molding, its stained glass sunroof and one stairwell, its fireplaces and chandeliers. You might miss this figure in the doorway. Dan himself only noticed when safely back home. Watching the video back, the point in question occurs at around 7 minutes 5 seconds when he's turning a corner around a stairwell. There's an open door in a hallway beyond with light shining against the door, and a shadow is plainly visible. It moves as Dan turns to head up the stairs. Plenty of other strange things occurred during this visit, including Dan's battery popping and what looked like red stains found on the tile floor in an upstairs room. That's probably the point where you should get the heck out of an abandoned building. I'm just glad Dan and his team made it out. Basements are inherently creepy, but this basement's resident shadow person will make your skin crawl. A shadow person was caught on camera in a Pennsylvania basement on December 15th, 2016. The YouTuber writes, "For the last few months there have been weird bangs and noises in our basement. Sounds like someone is walking up and down our steps." He goes on to say that his wife thought it was their cats at first, since their litter box is in the basement, but on the night in question, their cats were upstairs in their daughter's room, and their dog was in his cage in the kitchen, whining about the basement noise. He brought a camera to prove to his wife that the cats weren't making this noise, which had started out of nowhere a few months prior. "This thing I caught on camera, I am at a loss over," he writes. "Now I am terrified in this house." As he heads down the stairs to the basement, a shadow person peers around the corner, frightening the man.
I know I heard you. Holy, oh my, dude.
He runs down the stairs at it, trying to catch it on camera up close, but it disappears around the corner and isn't caught again. YouTuber Wyoming Oregon points out, if you pay attention to when he first turns the cam, around right before he cuts on the lights, it was standing there on the stairwell then ran down the stairs. Most confirm Wyoming's take, with many agreeing it was extremely creepy. Others say they've seen these shadow people in real life before. The uploader notes that they've decided to move after watching this video, as they don't want to raise their daughter in a haunted house. After seeing this, can you blame them? This video is believed to have happened sometime in 2001. A person is walking around what looks like to be an old basement when they think they notice something on the floor.
What the hell's that? Right. That on the floor. Right there.
The footage is too grainy to see, but I think he may have been looking at a shoe, or even the top of someone's head coming out from just behind the door. Suddenly, he looks up and sees some sort of white apparition glaring back at him with lifeless glowing eyes. I guess that it could just be someone who is dressed up, but there's something about his reaction that seems genuine. Here's another strange basement video that doesn't seem to have any good explanation besides the paranormal. A YouTuber named David's Ghost Cams has recently installed a brand new smoke and carbon monoxide detector that seems to be acting quite strangely. First of all, it only goes off when he is downstairs. Second, it tells him that the carbon monoxide levels are at 0%, which means it shouldn't be going off at all. Finally, it tells him to get out of his home.
Okay, so we're gonna go downstairs, and I'm going to show you what happened the other night.
Look what happens as soon as he steps foot in the basement.
Carbon monoxide is
Keep in mind that this alarm has not gone off since the last time he went downstairs. There's obviously no smoke to speak of. This, combined with other weird happenings, has David convinced that his basement is quite haunted. David explains that he once had a house guest who stayed in the basement over 3 months before taking his life. Everyone was surprised. Ever since then, David has noticed things in the house moving around by themselves, strange noises, and most recently, the faulty smoke alarm. Even stranger is that how, as soon as David starts talking about the smoke alarm again, it goes off on its own for a second time. The only explanation I have for this video is that somehow David is manually testing the smoke detector himself and blaming it on a ghost as a prank. However, all of the smoke detectors I've ever seen requires you to physically press a button. This one really does seem to be going off all by itself. This brings me to an interesting point. If David's house guest was a friend, then why would he be telling him to leave his home? Perhaps there is some sort of danger. Perhaps he is trying to warn David of a gas leak or an impending fire. I guess only time will tell. Some videos on the internet can haunt you. February 20th, 2003, Station Nightclub, a great white concert. The headliner takes the stage seconds after they open with their Billboard hit Desert Moon. Pyrotechnics are launched by the tour manager as part of the spectacle. Little does he know that the acoustic foam located in the ceilings and walls around the stage will soon go ablaze. Most initially believed it was part of the show, but soon the crowd began to understand that this was not a controlled incident. The band's lead vocalist, Jack Russell, said into the microphone, "Wow, that's not good." Before some of the band and their entourage fled the stage via the west exit, a stampede towards the main exit resulted in a bottleneck and trampling. Cameraman Brian Butler for WPRI-TV of Providence was there that night filming for a piece on nightclub safety. Some of his footage was released to national news stations. If you're wondering if you can stomach the footage, take notes from Redditor Buffalady87, who writes, "The worst part is in the beginning there's so much screaming. Then as people are running outside you realize it's actually pretty quiet. Not because people calm down, but because you are actually listening to the people still inside." This video was posted on my subreddit by someone in Palo Alto, California. For well over a minute, these large lights jump all around the sky, changing direction seemingly at random without logic or reason. After a while, the mysterious lights slowly lower to the ground, almost as if landing somewhere unseen.
Yo, what is that?
Oh my gosh.
They're like moving around.
Look at that.
What is that?
This landing maneuver strongly suggests that this is some kind of controlled aircraft, though exactly what it's being controlled by is anyone's guess. The person who posted this video claims to be a pilot and has absolutely no idea what this could be. I thought this could be an experiment with flares, but they say military flares are much smaller and move differently. Whatever it was, I would be particularly worried because, according to his estimations, the strange lights apparently landed about 20 miles from his house. Lori Lee Craig and her husband have a bad feeling about a mysterious handprint on their wall that neither one of them can explain.
Okay, because it's like you can't see it, and then suddenly it's there. And there's no way.
As you can hear in the background, their child has been crying all day, but there's nothing normal about this behavior at all. Listen for yourself.
Stairs, can you move up a little bit? So even if you stood on the stairs, because there's the handprint, you can't reach it.
The two worried parents walk around the house to see if they can find what's wrong. That's when they notice this strange handprint above their child in an impossible to reach corner of the stairway.
This thing is 6 feet above the stairway.
I wasn't sure what to make of this video until I kept hearing the shrieks of this poor little girl. No skeptic can explain these cries of pure terror. It sounds like the spirit is still in front of her doing who knows what. Junior Tor 1 helps his father move a table, and only when they put it down does he notice something he wishes he never caught on camera.
And we picked it up under here, and we carried it out, and when I flipped it over, guess what I discovered? And I stuck my hands under there.
From the view at 36 seconds, it's easy to see how the spider stayed hidden from view. The circled areas where the spider is, and also exactly where he grabbed the table to lift it. For better context, this is where his fingers were, and of course you already know where the spider is. He thinks this is a wolf spider, but someone else claims this to be a dark fishing spider. This is a fierce debate in the comments section of the video, so let's see if we can settle the issue here. A man and a woman are enjoying a private plane ride, when suddenly their pilot slumps over and becomes unresponsive. Watch the trees and you'll see the plane is really sideways and they are really freaking out. It looks like she is going to take off her safety belt and jump when the pilot springs back to life and everyone starts laughing. Everyone but her. Do you think this joke went too far? I think there's a certain line between tasteful and terrifying that they may have crossed. And any prank where you fly with your eyes closed probably isn't the best idea. A ghost hunting crew called the Singapore Paranormal Investigators go exploring the abandoned Bucket Brown Cemetery. Constructed in 1922, this is one of the largest burial grounds in the entire country. So if any place were to be haunted, it would be here. They light candles to attract spirits and soon read an energy spike on their paranormal equipment. They take a picture of the darkness ahead and think they've caught something paranormal in the shape of a glowing orb. I played this part in slow motion and discovered this strange orb is really a street sign reflecting the flash of the camera. I don't think they were purposefully faking this part and probably thought it was real paranormal evidence at the time because they were scared. The ghost meter swirls with another buildup of paranormal energy, and a solid black orb comes out of the equipment, or more likely an insect. Later that night, they think they see something fly over the candles in the area. I don't see anything here, but maybe you do. Their camera stops working shortly after they see it, so maybe there was a ghost after all. Whoever shot this footage claims to have been filming back in 2008. They were exploring an abandoned house and decided to start filming after hearing a strange noise. It's a very short clip since it wasn't long before they were running out of the house screaming.
Let's get out the car.
Reviewing the footage again, you can clearly see that this is not an ordinary forest creature. Its front legs bend inwards as it runs, kind of like a human running on all fours. It doesn't appear to have much of a face, yet it can somehow make a terrifying scream. The humanoid appears to be ready for the cameraman as soon as he opens the door. It approaches aggressively, but also with a hint of caution, for it rushes at the cameraman at only half speed. It also doesn't seem to pursue him when he starts running, which means it's probably just claiming its territory and wants to be left alone. The YouTuber who uploaded this video says that this is not their only encounter with the creature. Another time they were exploring the abandoned house with a friend and a knife. They peer into the house from the front yard and listen for any signs of the creature inside. They don't hear anything, so they decide to go further in to investigate. That's when they hear its disturbing warning cries. It sounds like a mix between a squealing pig and some sort of enraged dinosaur. The two quickly turn off their flashlights and remain quiet in the dark. Then they slowly get up and start sneaking away, but just when they think they are safe.
The heck is that? Shoot! Just get out of the house! Get out of the house! Just get back to the house! Just get back to the house! Jesus Christ.
They run back full speed to their nearby home. When they review the footage, they vow to go back to the property the next day with guns, but they never got the courage to follow through. Since the monster never chased them in either video, perhaps it was just as uncertain of them as they were of it. A man finds himself trapped on the 30th floor of the Shinjuku Center building in Tokyo after the entire city was rocked by a 9.1 quake. Now nowhere is safe and there is nothing left to do except to record as doors and cabinets swing open uncontrollably and the entire building shakes.
Oh!
Everything grows eerily silent, and then this voice cuts through the speakers. There is a lot of frantic chatter in the background, so I think it was a live broadcast, not a recording. Try and translate if you can, because if you were there, your life may have very well have depended on following these instructions.
こちらは防災センターです。ただいま大きな地震を感じました。この建物は地震に対して安全な設計になっております。
After a while, the speakers turn off, and the guest hopelessly watches as the buildings sway like trees. It's kind of hard to see what I'm talking about because the building he's in is shaking too. This second video, taken near the top floor of the Shinjuku Center building, shows how bad the shaking really was. The buildings look like they are going to topple at any moment, but they are actually designed to be incredibly flexible and can withstand intense vibrations. Keep in mind that these are just the smaller aftershocks and not the actual quake itself, which was, believe it or not, much worse. The CCTV video was taken after hours at a business in Ogden, Utah. All is quiet until a full-speed plate dives out of a cabinet and shatters all over the break room floor. A security guard on patrol walks over and simply stares at the broken plate for over 10 full seconds before grabbing another to verify what just happened. Neither one can think of a proper explanation. They check the shelf and it looks fine. Let me know if you have any explanation for this video besides the paranormal. Unless the whole video is fake and someone off camera pulled a string, then I have no idea how that plate could have fallen. Exploring abandoned houses for paranormal evidence is an activity that's as old as YouTube itself, as this early video taken in August of 2005 shows. The team of amateur ghost hunters are exploring an abandoned house from the street when activity within lets them know it's quite haunted. At 2 seconds, one of them points to an all-white apparition and they all take off. I don't think this is fake because video editing was not that common back in 2005, and when you play it in slow motion you can actually see the mysterious figure go from right to left across the doorway. It's bizarre, sure, but was it a ghost? When Reactor 4 burst at Chernobyl in 1986, a 10-kilometer exclusion zone was formed and thereafter was increased to 30 kilometers. The initial steam blast resulted in 2 passed away, while a further 28 passed within months of exposure. These numbers do not even touch upon the total passing toll caused by radiation, and they also don't touch upon the mutations in humans or animals in the area, which brings us to this footage published in March of 2014. The uploader states that the video is filmed at Chernobyl power plant. A close-up of an animal in the area appears to show a headless form on 4 legs running across the railroad tracks. It almost looks like a headless deer. Some in the comments say that it looks like a large deer with the face of a rabbit, or a moose with a twisted neck, and still others say the creature appears as though its neck is deformed and bending towards the opposite side. Mutant or not, kinda makes you wonder what other nightmare creatures are lurking in the area. If you suffer from arachnophobia, you definitely would want to keep your lights on for this one. What at first looks like your ordinary everyday bramble of twigs amidst some rocks is not what it seems. With a stick, Connor Long, the video's creator, disturbs the nest, the many legs of which start to move. Published in July of 2011, Long came upon this daddy longlegs nest near Santa Barbara in Los Padres National Forest. Long notes that research into this clustering behavior came up short, as it isn't understood why they do this, whether it's for mating or moisture conservation during the hot summer months or some other reason. Whatever the basis for this behavior, one thing's for sure, don't step on this bramble, or you may just pass away of fear. Some folks are good narrators getting carried away by their own storytelling. This one should have noticed how true her story was. This video was originally posted to TikTok by Briar May. In the video, Briar is telling a creepy story while sitting on her bed, as she describes how her stepsister used to wait under her bed and grab her ankles. The camera pans back to capture her bedroom door slamming closed at the most inopportune moment, heightening the fear of the horror story. But don't be distracted by the sound. Look under the bed. Her room is not empty after all. Is that Briar's stepsister, or are her ankles about to be grabbed by the true blue monster under the bed? This is a horror story come to life. I just hope everybody was alright. A man is videotaping an abandoned home from above when he catches what could be something paranormal as it dashes away. A misty black cloud snakes along the wall and trails off into the abandoned house, veering out of sight. The cameraman zooms in for a better look but finds nothing. I think this appears to be CGI, but the way the cameraman behaves makes me think that it could be real. He stays focused on the spot for a little bit, then draws back and studies the entire area for more activity. He doesn't immediately stop recording like most videos. A YouTuber named IN7 and a large group of friends decide to investigate an abandoned home for some possible paranormal activity. They didn't find anything that strange on the first floor, aside from some mattresses, so they decide to go up a flight of rickety steps that looks far from safe.
You got I'm a cripple again. Say, Mom.
Some laughter stops them in their tracks. They start to run, but then find confidence in numbers and decide to keep going anyway. When they get to the top floor, they find more mattresses. One of the mattresses has a human-looking figure on it with black sheets pulled above the head. Suddenly, some other kids rejoin the group to warn them of more people.
I didn't let them find it. I did people upset.
They hear laughter again and bolt down the steps, out of the house. The laughter sounds distant yet somehow all around them. If it's not editing, then it's definitely paranormal. The group will never know if the person laying on the mattress was just sleeping or not alive. They could have stumbled upon some ritual sacrifice for all we know. Pakistani ghost hunter Woa Kaya Hoga bravely goes exploring a jinn's den to confront a paranormal presence that's been haunting his town for too long.
दरवाजा खटका अंदर से किधर वो क्या गाड़ी को डब्बा टाइप
They can't get in this way, but there is another entrance heavily guarded by this nefarious jinn.
अंदर आए ना जरा देखें हसन भाई इधर कैमरे की लाइट लाए वो दे वो इसको क्या हुआ है ओए
It could be a real encounter, or they could be throwing rocks. The explorers investigate a different part of the wall where someone, maybe them, threw an object hard enough to take a piece out, and that's when... Noises surround them, and this door is moving on its own out of their reach. Something is next to them.
यार मेन गेट से आवाज आई मुझे आ गया
One of them grabs their leg while white eyes watch from the windows. And when it comes to abandoned haunted houses, where there are glowing eyes, there's almost always a ghost.
क्या हो रहा है अल्लाह अकबर वो देखो कुछ चीज गई वो देखो फिर गई
A mysterious figure flutters past the window, and in its place is only a single glowing eye, the eye of a jinn. Daniel lives way out in the country, and rather than paying someone to remove the leaves around his house, he chooses to burn them instead. He stands at the edge of a controlled fire and takes this quick video.
Oh yeah, lots of fire. Oh yeah, lots of fire.
Off the distance, a two-legged creature about the same size as Daniel sprints away in the opposite direction as fast as it can. Keep in mind that Daniel lives out in the Oklahoma wilderness and has no neighbors. I really can't think of any forest animal that looks like this, so maybe the controlled burn accidentally flushed out a rare humanoid creature. With no other footage of the creature, we will probably never know what it truly is. So years ago, I analyzed a creepy video of a mysterious handprint found in this family's haunted home in a hard-to-reach area really high up in the corner above the stairs. Years later, their house still appears to be haunted as ever.
This wall has since been painted, and the exact same print is still there.
Okay, so the wall does in fact look to be painted a different color. The original video has a yellow wall and now it's gray. It's the same distance from the ceiling and has the same impossibly long fingers extending from an oblong palm, more like the paw print of a creature than that of a human. So I guess the work of a demon is not out of the question. With that said, I guess they could have stenciled the handprint and recreated it over the new paint job. But that seems like a lot of work and there should be some mistakes. The handprint in the two videos looks nearly identical to me, and therefore I think this follow-up video is probably paranormal. And judging from their evidence, it looks like this paranormal entity, ghost, demon, whatever you want to call it, is not going to stop haunting their home anytime soon. A YouTuber named Captain Bob Hartzell finds himself in the sea caves of Devil's Island in Wisconsin when he feels uneasy and decides to start recording. Watch this part and tell me if you see something strange in the distance. A vaguely human outline can be seen standing directly in front of him. I guess this could just be a small cave opening, but this island is rumored to be haunted by numerous spirits and even a cave monster, so anything is possible. All I know for sure is that Bob feels like he is not alone, starts recording wildly, and manages to capture a silhouette roughly the same size and shape of a human. Two friends are fishing when they hear somebody else firing for hunt not too far away. The two don't think much of it and let the man continue his hobby while they continue theirs. They keep casting into the water and everything is going fine for about a minute, and then the two sports collide.
Holy! Stop! Hey! Hey! It hit my boat!
Look again and you can tell that he doesn't pick his foot up for dramatic effect. It was really that close. When you slow down the video to frame by frame, you can briefly see the round as it bounces off the deck right by his foot. If they had been drifting downriver, even just a little faster, it would have been a direct hit and a trip to the hospital for certain. This scary doorbell video is from the Chills Narrator subreddit, and it was posted by Tay Harley Quinn. They say their camera has never acted weird before, but for some reason this mysterious shadow figure, transparent and paranormal, is traveling at a high rate of speed behind a truck at random. Some people say this is a person on a bike, while others say it's somebody running, but most agree that this video is paranormal from the looks of it. A small number of people say that this is a glitch, but fail to go into much explanation, even though I would like to hear more. Until then, I think this could be a real ghost sighting caught on home security camera. What would you do if a poltergeist became more and more aggressive? Published by D-Dog Michael in January of 2022, this scary video follows this paranormal explorer through an abandoned building. Michael first encounters some unsettling sounds like bottles trembling. He thinks it's just the wind at first, but the sound becomes louder and more aggressive. This makes him run back downstairs. As they continue to explore, a window panel slides open, and later he hears regular banging noises in the hallway. When he goes to investigate, the banging noises get louder and more frequent. As he approaches a door, he asks the spirit if he can go in and look around, but the spirit seems to answer in the negative.
잠깐만 들어가도 될까요? 사람.
He runs off but returns to the same door, and as he's reaching toward the knob, he hears something inside. Finally, inside the room, there doesn't appear to be anyone around, but he hears another sound. Out in the hallway again, he reaches for a second door, and a loud noise is heard behind him. Later, he is in a dark bathroom when chaos again breaks out behind him.
잠깐만요.
He continues into a bedroom, and then he sees this shape in the window.
안으로 들어가 보시.
Michael decides it's time to leave this place before whatever haunts it won't let him go. This ghost has a lot on his mind. Published in August of 2021 by Gankwa P, this scary short video has got me freaked out. The security footage shows an alley outside a gated home in what I believe is Thailand. Soon a semi-transparent phantom shape appears. It can be seen against the darkness of the gate beyond. It moves past the gate and disappears. Is this ghost taking a nighttime stroll, or do we need to call a medium? This pair of videos is double spooky. These clips, published by T-Razor88 in August of 2010, purport to show a demon in the woods. Some friends were exploring the forest at night, attempting to capture paranormal orbs on camera. But what they caught is even more terrifying. Look closely at the background of this photograph. Taken of Tom, something is hiding behind a tree beyond, its white hand reaching around one of the limbs, its head appears to be peeking around, one glowing eye clearly visible. The uploader thought it could be some kid trying to play a trick on them, but he says everyone in their group was accounted for, and this certainly doesn't look like a kid. Is some forest demon keeping an eye on them, or are they being hunted? The historical Winchester Mystery House was basically built to be a nightmare. The Queen Anne-style Victorian mansion in San Jose, California, was the personal residence of heiress Sarah Winchester, who started building it in 1886 and didn't stop until her passing in 1922. Not having a master plan, the enormous mansion features such oddities as secret passageways, staircases to nowhere, and hidden rooms. The home is said to be haunted. Posted to the r/ghosts subreddit by Resident Science 525, this scary video may have captured one of them. The footage shows a short staircase leading up to an exit in the Winchester Mystery House. As the camera pans for a moment, a semi-transparent figure moves past the staircase. The Redditor writes that there are no windows or air vents in the hallway, and no reflective surfaces. So what is this? Or should we say who? Could there be spirits all around us, just out of sight? Posted to the r/paranormal encounters subreddit, one Blueberry336 asks, is this an orb? In the video, her puppy is sitting in his cage on high alert. He starts whining and lays down. Then he starts howling. Mid-howl, a light orb flies by, somehow seeming to alert the dog to its presence. The dog stops his howl and looks right at it. Some in the comments think the pup really does seem to be startled by the orb and think it could possibly be paranormal, but others think it's a puppy and a flying bug. What do you think it is? Remember, animals have a better sense of the paranormal than humans. Something about railroad tracks at night is eerily haunting, and these creepy tracks are no exception. Published by Panic Attack Scary Videos in October of 2014, this scary video might make you have a panic attack. Located in Redo, Texas, these old-timey railroad tracks have a terrible history. According to urban legend, a railroad worker let a train take his life on these tracks a very long time ago, and ever since his ghost has been seen on occasion around midnight, hovering over the bridge carrying a lantern. The boys here are interested in seeing if the tales are true. After being chaotically through the woods by a wild boar, they fall onto the tracks. That's when they see it. A mysterious light is shining at a distance on the bridge, just as the urban legend said it would. It's too far away to be distinct. They say it looks like a ball of light, and they walk toward it. But as they approach, after a while it goes out, leaving them in darkness. Was it the railway man of legend? I guess we're left in the dark about that too. A YouTuber named Ghost Chic believes she has a problem in her home of the paranormal variety. One day her dog just starts patrolling the living room, as if on guard even though there is nothing out of the ordinary and no strange noises. I'm wondering if it is annoyed by something on television, or at something we can't see standing there.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Whatever it is, he seems satisfied that it's gone for now, but then he tries to track it. Meanwhile, notice how the smaller dog doesn't seem to care at all.
Is everything okay?
Down.
It's definitely weird, although maybe it could have just been a bug or something, but still that doesn't explain how on a different day, both of her dogs get up to see who's at the door. The door opens and I think I might see a shadow pass through, though it could be the outside light. As soon as she's coming in to see what's wrong, the barely discernible orb passes overhead, unseen to her at the time but caught on camera nonetheless. And when she later goes ghost hunting using a Kinect in the same room, she detects a spirit by the window.
I went to pan so you can see that there's no one else over there with her. No one's on my curtain.
Then something eerie happens. So is this a paranormal encounter? Or is this person waving their hand at 38 seconds, also moving it with their hand during this part? I'll let you decide. A Dutch YouTuber named Govert Sweep and his friends go well past their limits while exploring an old place in the forest that's scary enough to have them jumping at every noise, of which I'll admit there's way too many.
Absurd dat daar nu iemand boven. Wat was dat voor jij?
I've heard of a house settling, but this sounds like the opposite. Like a spooky house is ramping up in a bad way. A haunted place where everything has gone wrong long ago.
Wat was dat dan? Dit was nou snoepst. Dit was nou snoepst.
Juist,
Dit was nou snoepst.
I probably would have already been out of there, but they decide to keep seeing what there is to find, which is one of the shadiest entrances to any basement I've ever seen.
Oh, nee.
They go down there long enough to record only a few seconds of footage before getting out fast and for good reason. Yes, something scary could be lurking among the rubble, but there are also structural concerns as well. The place looks ready to collapse on them, so they made the right decision because no scary ghost or creature videos worth taking that kind of risk. A strange and mysterious sighting on a doorbell cam has left this Los Angeles resident frightened. Their 5 a.m. visitor is seen through and at times straight up invisible. Plus, listen to how the audio skips when it passes by. Since paranormal energy is known to make cameras malfunction, I think this could be a real ghost sighting video. A YouTube channel called The Paranormal Detectives investigates the Morton Corbet Castle in England. A man named Paul Holmyard cursed this property after his exile sometime during the late 1500s. And centuries later, his curse still apparently stains these walls. The paranormal detectives set up 2 haunted dolls of their own to act as spiritual conduits for anything nearby. Not only does one of their dolls, Elizabeth, fall over, but this strange black line begins leaking from its neck onto the wall behind. Fully stretched out at 1 minute and 53 seconds, it almost looks like some kind of tentacle or even a parasite. Is this special effects? Or could we be witnessing a spiritual entity caught on camera while leaving Elizabeth? An investigator from the Liberty Independent Ghost Hunters of Texas is exploring the haunted old Lavaca jail when they capture some scary stuff happening right in front of their camera.
What the? Are you for real?
A paranormal mist fills the room, and it's not his breath because it comes from off to the side, not in front of him. Also, at 48 seconds, the colors dim and the camera blurs as if trying to focus on a ghostly presence. The Texas ghost hunter is freaked out and doesn't stick around to see what comes after the paranormal mist and ghost orbs. I've seen a lot of paranormal investigations before, and something about this one looks real. I think he was really scared and had a genuine paranormal experience. A YouTuber named Josh Washi is exploring an abandoned building that he suspects is haunted. Long ago, this was a school, but now is little more than a crumbling collection of rickety rooms waiting for a closer look. He and his group somehow make it all the way to the attic without falling through the floor. Hidden at the far end is a door to an unknown room that makes them nervous. His friend Nate goes to open it, and that's when the urban exploration goes wrong.
No, that door just opened by itself. That door just opened by itself.
At 3 minutes and 52 seconds, you can see Nate comes very close to touching the door, but ultimately does not, and is in fact moving away from the door when it mysteriously opens like a ghost is near. I think this video is real based on one thing. They were really worried about falling through the floor until they saw the door open and took off running, which could have gone very wrong. This footage supposedly comes from the capital of China, where a massive, slow-moving creature makes its way across the polluted city landscape. It's hard to tell how many legs this giant creature has, or what its overall intentions are. It doesn't seem to be that aggressive, but the ground shakes under its gigantic steps, and army helicopters circle above, obviously ready. According to the uploader, this footage was suppressed by the Chinese government, who has a tight grip on all forms of news and social media. This could very likely be CGI, but if it's real, then there is no information as to how this situation was ultimately resolved. This ghost is an art thief. Jeff believes he's captured poltergeist activity on camera. I'll let him explain.
You might say poltergeist activity. We've been having a lot of problems here at the house. Things moving. I've had a kitchen table dragged from my dining room into my kitchen. Never can get it on camera. Well, I finally got...
The proof is in the details. Watch the painting to the left carefully.
And there it goes. Nothing near it, nobody. I was in the back room, actually on the phone with my wife at the time, and yeah, you'll see that an orb go through there.
The painting falls slightly after hanging in this spot unmoved for a decade. While I'd like to see additional footage of the poltergeist activity in this home, this is certainly a convincing start. If you ever get lost in your own little world while driving, you may be missing out. Fear is right outside your window. YouTuber Nabs Maya captured this unusual figure on camera, and they are disturbed by it. Watch closely.
Because no guys are coming down the fire. Right, so this is the beginning of the show, 10 o'clock on the dot this morning, and we have got one new entry on the Code Top 40. You've obviously then got one for that. We'll get to that a little bit later, but that new entry...
What they're looking at is that bright pale figure in the middle of the field. It appears to be standing idle. Though the camera is shaky, the figure doesn't move.
Kept your paid against the plan.
You can even see a bird fly past it, undisturbed. What is this thing? It's difficult to tell from such a distance. I think it could be anything. A person, a scarecrow, even a ghost. But these guys are gonna have to get closer to test out my theories. While touring this haunted home, YouTuber Dimitri from A Sip of Fear finds that devilry is at play. First he hears it. Later, after setting up some cameras, his work is thrown to the ground.
Что происходит и все?
It seems to me that the devil does not wish to be captured on camera, but he has no say in the matter. If I were Dimitri, I'd be getting out of there ASAP. YouTube channel Paranormal Nightmare TV series takes a location tour of Bridgeport Manor, and they soon encounter the manor's mysteries as the tour guide shares that a man passed away of a heart attack in this room. Listen closely.
He said, well, we want to go talk to Lester James. He says, it's me.
What was that voice?
We'll talk to Lester James. He says, it's me.
One of the crew even hears it in the moment.
Who was that?
What did you hear?
A male voice.
Later, as they're capturing video in the building, several noises are heard.
Yeah.
Dude, that vibrated the whole building. House voice. Somebody's down to be here.
Although they didn't find anyone there, they hear more haunting proof later.
It's like it answered you.
If you can see or hear us, hit something and give us a sign of your presence.
Oh, alarm.
They hear one of their paranormal devices go off on the second floor.
Keep to your left a little bit, Rock.
Who keeps setting our alarm off in the cell?
They receive no answer until the demon talks directly to them through the spirit box.
We heard you walking. Is that you that I'm...
Do you want to play?
Oh, yes, I want to play.
And it seems the demon does.
Did you just touch me?
Did.
I think there is enough evidence here to suggest this place does house some ghosts or demons, but whether or not they just want to play is anyone's guess. Ohm Vlogs has set up a camera at this junction in the middle of the night. What he sees there calls up plenty of questions, and they're without answers. First, he sees this figure walking across the grounds.
मैंने मुड़ा ये पेड़ के पास हाँ ये पेड़ के पास ये देखो ये कोई लगा मुझे पता नहीं उस पेड़ के पास करके एंड
He then sees this figure in red. It's not clear if it's the same person in the security footage. It looks like he lights a candle, maybe for prayer or some other ritual. But it's when this next figure enters the picture that things get really creepy.
हाँ ये देखो ये कोई आया है ये औरत है ये कोई और हाथ में आग है आग ऊपर भाई आग जला रखी है हाथ पे
After a while, she sits on the ground with her flame.
ये चौक पे घूम रही है हाथ नहीं जल रहा है इसको बिल्कुल भी और इसने आग को नीचे रखा हाथ को नीचे रखा इसने आग को नीचे रखा इसने
When the witch leaves, he heads over to check out what she was burning, and then he finds her.
और ये पता नहीं कुछ करके अरे यार वो जा रही है
Later, the camera captures her again crossing the same junction. And he finds this burning. The vlogger thinks this is a witch, performing some type of ritual. I agree that he's probably right. I can't find any other explanation for her movements at night. I'm not sure what she's doing exactly, whether it's good or evil, but I do find it fascinating. On this supernatural search, Alan from Procura Sobrenatural investigates a house in which no one has been able to live. Anyone who tries is driven out by paranormal activity. During a previous investigation, he captured a spirit at this door.
Captou um espírito aqui. Ele estava aqui, por trás dessa porta aqui. Espírito parado olhando pra gente.
This is the spirit. Still, he enters the house, and inside he hears strange noises. To me, it sounds like something dripping. He breaks out the EMF meter in another room and again hears something.
Tem alguém aqui que vai se aproximar? Se aproxima aqui do aparelho. Eu vou deixar aqui esse aparelho aqui, ó.
He also finds graffiti that warns not to enter.
Não entrar. Não entrar aqui. Não entrar aqui. Tá escrito aqui, não entrar aqui.
Although he didn't run into anything too spooky this time, I get a real creeped out feeling from this place, and I think he should probably heed this warning. There must be a reason why no one lives here. Is this a werewolf, a cryptid, or something else? Redditor Twist of Fate 666 shares this creepy video of a mysterious creature in the darkness. Watch closely and tell me what you think. I think I'd run for the hills if I saw this in my backyard, but Redditors have many different takes. It looks like a demon at this angle, but still others think it's something natural. Is this an elephant or a four-legged stilt Halloween costume, as some Redditors are suggesting? Or, like the uploader thinks, could this be a werewolf? There are so many options that I feel I'm leaving this guessing game with more questions than answers. Not all of us want to be detectives in this scary case, but sometimes the job is forced on us. YouTube team Exploring with Angelo ends up on the trail of a possible life taker with this Randonautica gone wrong. It takes the crew to this creepy forest where they see a light amongst the trees.
There's definitely someone over here. Yeah. You catch one on that, Kevin?
The light grows brighter and gets closer. The beam of light flickers in the darkness. And then they capture what's holding it. Using night vision, they get a close shot of the figure as it continues in its mission. After the figure leaves, they follow its footprints in the snow, and they encounter him yet again from a distance.
See anything? Yeah, they're right there.
As they get closer, they smell a strong stench.
Smell?
I don't know.
You smell that?
Yeah.
One YouTuber points out another light beam from behind them later as they're reading this note.
Senior position in our new Arizona community. Which makes sense.
Do
Do you remember that letter that we found?
This is the.
We were in Arizona and it was talking about a new commune or something.
Okay, yes, now that you.
Does the beam belong to that strange figure? Later, as they're walking, they hear a scream in the night. I don't know what any of this means. I'm not sure if it means losing your life, but I would have to go and check the area again because it looks to me like the figure was burying something, but I'd definitely do that in the daylight. While staying overnight in a house with a poltergeist, you're bound to develop insomnia. YouTube Team Toppy is up all night in this poltergeist apartment. Bumps in the night occur while the couple is sleeping at around 2 a.m. Listen closely. Through a spirit box, they ask the ghosts why they want them out, and this is their response.
Скажите, пожалуйста, почему меня просят уехать домой?
More footage while they sleep captures additional noises, including a whistle. And more bumps in the night are heard. Then it sounds like someone is clapping. A struggle unfolds in the kitchen. And then the sounds return to the room.
Shooting.
These noises continue throughout the night over more than 5 hours of recording. Aside from the paranormal, the only thing I can think of that may be making these noises is rodents. So what do you think? Is this house infested by rats? What would you do if you kept finding food disappearing from your fridge at night? That's what kept happening to old fogey John, and when he set up a security camera, he was shocked at what he found. Trending in the Brazilian YouTube community via the YouTube channel EXTV, this video's original source is Old Fogey John on both YouTube and TikTok. Let's take a look at the footage. This home invader does not look human, and even the cat to the right recognizes that. First, the creature pokes its head through the window and appears as though it might attempt to climb in. Then it slinks back out for unknown reasons. Did this creature know it was on camera? Its red, bulging veins, dark, otherworldly skin, and glowing eyes makes me think it's not of this world. But is it a demon? I can't answer definitively, as I assumed their only appetite was for human souls. Did YouTuber Access2527 just experience genuine poltergeist activity? This is what he captured while home alone.
Okay, this is Julian documenting something that's happened today. I've just came downstairs from studying and drawing all day. No one else has been home, and I just decided to go down and play Zelda in my basement, because that's where my Wii is.
After heading downstairs, he sees this. Watch the stool.
What am I? That chair just moved. I'm documenting this.
He rushes upstairs, and that's when he's shut in.
I just know I'm going upstairs.
He approaches the doorway and finds nothing there, but something is listening to him.
If there's anything here, I just command you to shut the door.
A moment later, this happens.
Oh my. Let me out.
That's the end, and I believe he's been stuck in this liminal space for the last decade. Anyone who lives in this house is told by local villagers to leave it. YouTube channel 01 Supernatural Studio writes, "It is said that nothing happened to this house itself, but for some reason, after the original owner moved out, he could not rent it, and in the end it was left to be abandoned here. Let's see why." Upon entering, he finds an N95 mask hanging from a hanger.
然后这里竟然还亮着一个 N95 的口罩。
The house is abandoned, but the reason why is not yet clear.
这样子，你们多少都知道，这个屋子某方面听起来就好像有问题，对不对？然后你看，还有这个合适。
In another room, he finds children's bicycles and a grain dryer.
真的，那脚踏车。 哇，干豆机耶！这个是以前晒谷物用的吗？
And in a corner, a rice threshing machine.
啊，对了，那个干燥机应该是谷物用的，这是打稻机吧？好。
He gets an EMF reading on the second floor.
磁场，2楼的磁场比刚刚1楼还要来得乱哈，这也是。 意料之中的事情。
He asks for the spirits of the place to show some energy, and they respond.
灵体的存在呢，若有的话，请给我一些能量上的反应好吗？有。有。
This room on the second floor is in complete disarray.
这个地方因为有这个棉被，所以说我不太想踩过去，因为我前一阵子才被跳蚤咬。 但桌上还有那种红色的拜神用的蜡烛然后床。
Suddenly, the light on his camera goes out.
一会儿是，我的灯怎么突然熄掉了？只有3红外线热显像，你可以看，我灯自己突然熄掉了。
He asks a series of questions and receives immediate responses.
刚刚关机了，不好意思。 那我再想请教一下，他某方面来讲，是不是被你们牵走了呢？
He seems to have gotten the answers he was looking for. This place does look disturbing to me, but does that mean it's haunted? It seems you have to be there to know for sure. This video, captured in Israel, has me wondering if there's a whole other world under the sea. YouTuber Tpoza1996 shares this footage of what they believe is a mermaid. Watch and judge for yourself.
Yeah, man, it's cool. You got a seal on rock down nowhere? That thing. Yeah. That's a weird looking seal, man. Yeah. Tell me this.
Was that a seal or a mermaid? Take a closer look.
Please? Oh my! What is that?
While many in the comments think it's a real mermaid, I don't think the footage is clear enough to tell what exactly it is.
One shit. Well, there it went. What is that?
but its movements don't scream seal to me either, and the way it turns around to look at them is super creepy. If it's not a mermaid, I think it could very well be some other underwater mythical creature. Did this drone footage capture a spirit manifestation on camera, or is this just a reflection? Redditor Staffordshire PE had investigated this old Welsh hotel, and after experiencing a very active night, returned to capture some drone shots. That's when they saw this. See if you can spot it. Did you see it? Here it is up close. It does look like something semi-transparent flies past the third window to the left. Most in the comments agree that it's a reflection, but others think it's strange that the reflection appears to move while the drone is stationary. Others are saying there doesn't appear to even be a window pane in the broken window. So what do you think? It does look like a reflection to me, but I'd rather believe it's Casper the Friendly Ghost. On this urban exploration, YouTube team Dead City Paranormal captured unbelievable evidence on camera. The action seems to be coming from upstairs.
That was weird. Right, so I was starting hearing weird bangs. It's like it's upstairs though.
Yeah, it's like a loud thud upstairs.
Yeah. But we heard that thing before, didn't it? It's like a dragging sound.
Yeah.
As they continue through the farmhouse, a disembodied voice seems to respond directly to their discussion.
It actually sounds like there's someone upstairs.
Do you think someone died upstairs?
Maybe.
Because you know, it's all the bangs are like upstairs.
Yeah, it's literally sound like it's up. What room's upstairs? Up here.
With a recording device, they hear footsteps from upstairs.
Wait, can you hear that?
Yeah. There's like genuinely full on walking upstairs.
When they finally do head upstairs, the noises continue.
Mate. Kind of like it was coming from in here. It was a woman that time though. It's like a woman sound.
And when they ask for more communication, they get it.
Again, mate. On demand.
They continue the conversation using the spirit box and receive a strange audio response that I've never heard on the device before.
How did he die? Come on, tell us.
Whoa.
Mate, that breath then.
Yes. Whoa.
Mate, that breath then.
Yeah.
As the guys wrap up their investigation, they're listening for any type of sound. They don't appear to hear this one, but one YouTuber in the comments made note of it, and I hear it too.
Good. So quiet now.
Yeah, it's like strange.
It's like a female sigh, but there's no living women around. Is it a spirit? It seems to me like the spirits here are fed up with the disturbance and just want to go to sleep. These paranormal investigators just want a good night's sleep. YouTuber Theodort says his apartment is haunted, and this team is here to investigate the matter. When the team asks how many spirits there are, they answer 3. Then they capture this strange orb that looks unusual.
Et clairement, t'as l'impression que c'est le même homme qui revient.
What is that? That can't be the usual speck of dust, can it? It appears again in a different room. Is this two of the three spirits making their appearance? I think it may be, but until I see the last of the trio, I'm going to remain a skeptic. While in communication with a ghost that haunts this house, YouTuber Chamos was met with some paranormal activity. The house itself looks totally creepy. Is something inside? They head in to find out and are not warmly welcomed.
Cara, a gente sentiu aquele cheiro, aquele odor de fezes aqui, né? Ei, tem alguém aí? Tem gente aí, velho. Opa!
Something was thrown at them. They continue on anyway and quickly get a reading on their K2 meter.
Pra conversar, continuar aquela nossa conversa. Não precisa jogar isso aí pode acabar machucando a gente.
Ou ele quer machucar a gente, velho.
É, a intenção dele.
But it's only later that the demon gives the team some answers over the spirit box.
Tô com um pouco de raiva.
Ah, entendi. Por isso que você tá atacando.
And a moment later, this happens.
O céu, velho. Cara do céu, caiu.
Um estouro atrás de ti, velho.
Oi, eu vou dizer uma coisa pra vocês, parece que eu vi um vulto ali em cima, cara.
Meu Deus, chama.
Oi, eu juro, parece que eu vi um vulto. Oh, olha aí, Jefio. Cara do céu, velho.
Is the demon right behind them? It sure seems like it.
Já sei, sim, ele falou sim, já sei quem é você. Olha, Jefio. Oh, meu Deus, cara. Isso, velho! Cara do céu, velho! Machucou.
It looks to me that the demon is more than a little angry. If it's resorted to throwing whole branches at people, I suggest it should take an anger management class. This poltergeist activity is insane, perhaps literally. Captured at a haunted asylum, TikToker Louis D Vlog shares this video of a poltergeist encounter. It starts with a scare.
I told this yesterday. Yeah, what was that?
And the fear grows with this EVP.
Throw that chair. No. Is there a chair? Bring in a chair there, bro. Hey, the EVP says, throw that chair.
A second EVP makes things far spookier.
Oh my no! Something specific. Right now. Yeah.
Are children causing mayhem here? They seem to respond to the team's demands.
Hey, do it. Slam the door right now.
I'm not sure if children's spirits would be this angry, but whether young or old, the aggression is clear. Gather around this haunted and abandoned cabin in the woods. It has some ghost stories to tell. Debbie from YouTube channel, Spectral Researchers, Spirit Talkers, shares this video of their investigation of this mysterious place. Using a Kinect device, Debbie greets her first specters.
I really would love... Oh, hello there. Hello, two of you. Well, hi. Very pleased to meet you. My name is Debbie. Please excuse my intrusion in your home.
The figures remain visible for several minutes.
I don't mean any harm. I just want to talk to you and let you know that you're not forgotten.
One of the figures comes and goes. The little one seems to be doing flips or something. It's all over the place.
Hello. Can you tell me what year you moved into this house?
Then they both leave, but one is coaxed back.
I saw you come back there. What were you growing in that shed? Was that you growing something?
In no other room in the house does Debbie capture any figures on the Kinect. It seems to me that they congregate here for some reason. If I had to guess, I think it's either where they passed away or is their favorite spot in the cabin. This extraterrestrial sighting in Las Vegas is shocking the internet. Shared by YouTuber Black Collar Project. The guy in the video says he saw a thin creature standing about 8 to 10 feet tall in his backyard. He called his dad, and this is what they captured on camera.
¡Ay! ¡Permisar! Calmongarela, me canceles var eso. Cáelo, cherro, que chilica. Cáelo, cherro.
Here's a closer look. What is that thing? Some in the comments are believers, while others have their reservations. Script or not, I believe him. You can hear real fear in their voices, and their reaction seems legit. This extraterrestrial is here on a mission, and I hope it's not to destroy us all. Located in the UK, Taxel Lodge is reputed to have paranormal activity. YouTuber Moxley's Paranormal World says what they witnessed here left them terrified. Inside, they quickly start to feel uneasy.
That's the sort of feelings this place is giving off. It's like if you could have sworn I heard something. Right, I swear I've just seen something out that doorway just there.
Is their paranoia getting the better of them? Mox says he saw something in the second floor window, and viewers are seeing a shadow figure peering down at them.
There's no upstairs there.
I see it too, but there could be something up there casting this shadow. It's hard to tell. Later, when Mox hears a voice, he asks the spirits if it was theirs, and they answer.
Whose voice did I just hear then? There's no floors there. Yeah.
Many in the comments think the disembodied voice said, "Mine." Is this the voice of the shadow figure we saw earlier? This place is giving off creepy vibes for days, so I wouldn't doubt it. Called the Real Exorcist House, the Hinsdale house has been explored by a laundry list of paranormal professionals. Add YouTuber Exploring with Angelo to that list. While using a Ouija board with Jasco, they land on a message they don't want to receive.
Z-E-L? Something?
Oh, no. Put this to goodbye. Goodbye.
What does that mean?
Oh, no.
I don't even know what does that mean?
I get it now. A-Z-A-Z-E-L. Azazel.
Oh.
A demon.
A moment later, Angelo starts feeling lightheaded, while Jasco starts feeling something else.
Yo. Really lightheaded all of a sudden. What's going on?
Dude, it literally feels like something is just holding my arm right now. Like,
dude, your hairs are like standing up. Look at that.
It literally,
what the hell? It's like static.
Look at my. You could literally see a marker, like something literally around my hand right now.
The tingling lasts for a long time, and Jasco thinks a change of scenery will help.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go outside. I need
some
air.
Probably for the best.
Holy cow, dude.
Did a demon just enter and try to hold Jasco's hand? If so, I don't think Jasco should allow himself to be led anywhere. Azazel only wants one thing, to steal his soul. While investigating this haunted hotel of horrors, something breezes past this YouTuber from the channel, Morris's Paranormal Adventures UK, and he feels it.
Show yourself to me, please. I'm up here on my own. I can see you on this camera. If you come and stand in front of it, I'll be able to see you. Whoa. Ah. F***ing hell. It went dark then. Like something was behind me then. Is that you?
The feeling doesn't go away either.
My whole body just feels really tingly. That's freaky. Yeah, that is. Look at that. Her.
It did seem like something swept past him to me, but it could just be that this hotel is awfully atmospheric. I wouldn't be surprised if a whole gaggle of ghosts are hauled up here. Redditor Absolute Avarice is wondering if this dude is legit smacking the gin in this scary video. The clip's original source is YouTube channel, Tommy Amongst the Tombstones. Let's take a look.
This man is not afraid of ghosts. Dora afraid of him.
A second clip shows him giving another ghost a beatdown. And another. And one more. In all my time analyzing Jin videos, I've never seen someone smack or strike a ghost like this, and some believe he's legit.
This man is not afraid of ghosts. They are afraid of it.
It isn't that false. It's you or that. Wow.
Whether real or fake, I think this guy needs to send his application to the Ghostbusters. Stats. An unidentified flying object was caught on camera during a lightning storm in Miami, Florida. Redditor Bacon Tire shares the video, originally posted to TikTok by the Hall family 2018.
Dude, over here. Come here. Look right above the trees. Come here, Fiona. Right above the trees. What? Dude, what is that? That is not a plane either. It is not.
At first it appears that the unidentified flying object is not moving, but then it does this.
Oh, dude. Did you see how fast the ship went? Dude, yeah, did you see how fast that thing just went? That is a UFO. Dude! Where did it go?
Is this an extraterrestrial spacecraft waiting out the storm? Some believe that its sudden disappearance is due to cloaking. Others are skeptical of the footage, saying the acting is too poor to be believed.
Dude, what is that? That is not a plane either. It's not moving. Oh my gosh, dude. Me neither.
Is this credible, or is this a clickbait and switch? I'm leaning towards staged on this one, but I want to believe. Submitted to the Chills Narrator subreddit by the Caphead Bolthead, this Redditor wrote, I had just finished my basement with no furniture and was going to set a security camera in my basement. I had it running and noticed this. I could find the video, so I screen captured it. As far as tracking that thing, I took my phone from the computer screen and tracked it with my phone. Let's watch their submission and see what they're talking about. I noticed near the end of the footage a very visible flying orb that was captured on camera. I believe this is what the Redditor is referring to. Orbs can be associated with paranormal activity, but also can be digital artifacts caught on a low-resolution security camera. I don't want to jump to any conclusions here, but the flight pattern of the orb has me leaning towards the paranormal for this one. What do you think is going on here? Colorado's 19th century Glendale stagecoach station and inn has seen many a wary traveler pass on through, and now it seems some of their spirits lay their heads here to rest. YouTube team Aiden's Escapades investigates this historic haunted way stop. While using a spirit box, Aiden receives some strange messages. And this. Someone is watching, and they need help. A while later, they plead again. Would you help these lost souls? I think it could all be a con, but I'd probably have to try. YouTuber Ricky Velasquez visits the most haunted house in Guadalajara, Mexico, and what he witnesses there will send chills down your spine.
¿Escuchan todo eso? ¿Cuál es tu nombre?
What was that noise? Listen again. These voices or whispers are deeply unsettling, and along with the visual evidence of a figure captured by the Kinect, I think this place is for sure haunted.
¡Wow! No puedo creerlo. Muchas gracias.
After a while, the figure suddenly disappears.
¿Por esto querías que viniera?
But they leave their voice behind.
¿Cómo te puedo ayudar, amigo? Pase.
This house in Guadalajara sure lives up to its reputation. To me, there seems like plenty of proof here that the place is the city's most haunted. YouTuber Lomar Mendez and his team are spending the night in the Hinsdale house, and they may just need an exorcism now. As they begin, one of the crew appears to have the gift.
He's doing like a wire.
Yeah, but
He's bringing EMF to EMF.
That dude.
With his old body.
That's awesome. I knew this was a bad idea.
He continues to touch the globe, and the REM pod goes crazy.
I've never seen that before.
Me neither.
And you can put force right through that too.
So,
In the cellar, they start feeling the temperature shift as they communicate through a spirit app.
no way.
Well, I guess they agree with me, huh?
I guess so.
The accuracy on that.
I think they just don't like it down here.
While one of the crew is performing the Estes method, a demonic voice growls what some in the comments are saying is the word
out. Yo.
The weird thing is that no one seems to notice or be disturbed by it. I get the chills just watching this video. I can't imagine what it actually feels like to be inside the Hinsdale house, and then to hear this. Yep, I'd be gone. What you're about to see defies explanation and might just haunt your dreams. What's interesting about this image is the ghostly figure it showcases. What we're seeing here is nothing short of terrifying. This image is currently trending in the Spanish-speaking YouTube community. I came across it on a popular YouTube channel that creates content in this language, and I wanted to share it with you. It's a great example of how unique elements of horror can be found all around the world, each with its own twist. So, what do you think it is? And more importantly, do you think it's real or just a clever effect? Let me know down in the comments.